Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good night.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Sorry about yesterday again.
No worries. I totally understand. It was quite late, so no worries about that one. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Let's see. Hopefully, Griffin's wrapping up soon, and we'll get a few more people in here.
He just asked if we were running or you were running, and I told him we were. So you should be wrapping up soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. Patty was wondering why I was going at 11, and I'm like, or at 10. Griffin's going at 10, and I'm like, yeah. And I know. Anyways, I'm like, why? I don't know, but I did talk to Griffin about it and made sure so that he was okay with it. So we're good there. Hello.
Hi, Color Guppies.
Hello, Color Guppies. Hello,
Patty.
Chewy. Hello, Patty.
Danny.
Welcome.
Looks like people are starting to. Hi, Danny. Hi, Adele.
Well, hi, Adele.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Hey, Adele. Well, hi, Adele.
I don't know. It's weird.
Hi,
if I don't.
J-Rock.
Whatever. Hello, J-Rock.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming. I guess we will start. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much, Kerri, for coming today. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for giving me a part 2, round 2. Let's try again.
Well, I know I talked to you about it, 2 weeks ago, so.
Well, you know when you wake up and you check your phone and you just have that sinking, like, gut feeling like, uh-oh, you messed up. And I quickly was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I get that. No worries.
Hi, Andre Ellis. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you could make the late night stream.
Yeah, I haven't been up this late since Big Tank Hank had me on his stream. So it's nice to know what it feels like to be up past like 6:30.
And see, this is early for us because we usually go 11, 10 my time, so 1 Eastern time. So this is actually kind of earlier for us, but
we met and compromised. Late for me, early for you.
I know.
Yeah. I used to stay up all night and go to work the next day and like have tons of energy, and now like I sit down on the couch at 7 and I'm like,
I used to be one of those people too. I actually took a nap before the stream tonight.
Yeah, today was an odd day. I woke up with a headache, and headaches for me are not. I always have a headache. And I went to Starbucks to get a coffee, and a blue jay flew into the car, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm awake. Then I had a flat tire, and I was like, really? So I ended up coming home and like just sleeping off the headache, which is completely. So then I woke up thinking it was the next day, and I was like, man, is it Monday or Sunday? Like I don't know what day it is. And I was like, I
forget I took a nap. I'm like, I forget I took a nap. I'm like, okay.
I was like, I'm just all over the place.
Hello, Multiple Aquariums. Hello, Shauna. Hello, Shanna. Ian. I don't know if I said hello to Ian, but I guess since everybody is rolling in, we can start. So thank you all for coming. Thank you so much, Kerri. Thank you, Jen. Sorry, I forgot to send you the link. My bad, Jen.
Oh, that's all right. You get it out in time.
So I guess we'll start off with, how long have you been fish keeping for, Kerri?
Honestly, my dad had an aquarium when I was a little bitty baby, so I grew up with it. I didn't always know what I was doing. I followed my dad's lead, and he just told me to water change and do this and this and this. So I've always been fish keeping, but knowing how to properly do things to the best of my knowledge and more of the reason behind why we do things, and knowing probably like 5 years. So I've always been fish keeping, but there for a chunk of time, I had no idea why we did what we did. I just knew that it was usually Tuesday mornings. I would take 10% out of my tank and put it back in. I wouldn't use dechlorate like anything. And I would go to the fish store, and whatever I thought was cool, I would stick in that tank.
Wait, you wouldn't, or you would dechlorinate?
I wouldn't. I would just go straight from the tap to the tank, and I used plastic. I never knew that you could even put live plants in the fish tank until fish tube came in my life. So there's like, I've always been fish keeping, but kind of knowing properly how to do things a little bit better. It's again, maybe 5-6 years, somewhere around that time. When I went back to school, I took an ecology class and learned about the nitrogen cycle, and had an epiphany right in the middle of that ecology class.
Okay, so you weren't doing this. You didn't know that's what you wanted to major in then. That was after.
I went to school for biology because I wanted to work in a lab originally. And then I fell in love with genetics and realized how much they use and like observe fish in genetics. And I wanted to do something with fish for my research project, because you have to do a big senior research project. And I wanted to show how you can kind of observe through generations of fish, how they evolve and change. You can kind of pick genetics you want and see it, and then I always loved the hobby. It was always a hobby, but it was more of a habit. I always had a fish tank. I always took care of a fish tank. Like, I liked it. But when I took that ecology class and everything clicked, it was just like one of those literally like light bulb moments. And we weren't even talking about fish tanks. It just kind of was like, that's why there's that. And and then doing that research project and discovering the whole niche, like there's people out there like me that love this stuff now, and I love the hobby now. I always liked it, but now I love it.
And if I remember correctly, Jesse did not, he didn't keep fish before, did he?
No.
Okay,
he fished.
so you got him into it. Well, you're the one that enjoys it, and you kind of got him into it, right?
Yeah. And he was okay, because I had this 30-gallon bow front tank through my entire 20s, and it moved all to my every apartment. And I had it at my mom's house when I moved back to go back to school. I moved in with my mom to help with my dad, who has a brain injury. So she helped me with Brighton if I helped her with Dad. And she does not like the sound of the filter. So she was more than happy to say, get that goldfish tank and move it to Jesse's house. So then that's when he got his first aquarium. And he was supportive. But when I was doing that research project and I was getting more and more and more and more tanks, and I was taking up the living room, he did not enjoy that very much. And when he went to that Aquashella trip, and he would always help me if I asked for help, but he wasn't down here looking at the tanks or taking any time to, do anything. But he went to Aquashella with me and went to Primetime Aquatics Fish Room. And he had his light bulb moment and has not looked back. He's been more than... Like, I'll catch him down here, like, looking at stuff, and he is in love with that arowana upstairs. So anytime he gets an ample opportunity to feed an earthworm, a cricket, a wafer, anything to blood, whatever he can to the arowana, he is more than happy to do that.
That's awesome.
So he's always been supportive, but he did not get it. But now he does.
You just had to find the right fish to hook him in.
Yes, and it's very helpful when you find that magical fish, and it makes my life so much easier.
You get him hook, line, and sinker?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm still working on that
YouTube,
with my parents.
Like, he didn't get YouTube. Like, he was just like, I don't know about this. But once he fell in love in his own way with it, and then he just kind of gradually merged when I was live streaming, and now he has fun and looks forward to it. So even like with the YouTube stuff, he looks forward to it now too. So I'm just thankful.
Reading out chat too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he likes it.
He enjoys it. So that's awesome. No worries, Jenny. I get it. It is getting late. So thank you, Kerri, for later, so thank you. So I think you mentioned it a little bit, but what is your favorite fish?
Whichever one I'm looking at the moment, honestly. Like, if I look at this fish tank, then like right now I'm looking at neon tetras and they're very beautiful. And then if I look over here, I'm like, well, those are just as cool as those. And it's just whatever I'm looking at. I can't narrow it down. I like each one for different reasons. Like, I'll always have a soft spot for guppies just because they were my first thing. Guppies and snails were the first thing I kept in my bedroom by myself. So I'll always have that soft spot for guppies, but I can't, I don't know.
Snails? So, Skull Aquatics was asking really quickly, how's your dad's tank going?
My dad's tank is going well. He's got a 30-gallon, and I got him, I think it was 5 or 6 baby marble angelfish. And now they've grown up they're about the size of my palm. And then he wanted neon tetra, and I was like, okay, if that's what you want. So I got him, I think it was 15 neon tetra. And then he called me a couple days ago and was like, Kerri, guess what? And Mom took him to PetSmart, and he decided he wanted a betta. So he put a betta in there. And he called me and said, everything's doing great. No one's fighting. Everybody's eating. He says his betta likes to lay on all the water wisteria and just kind of lounge around. So I haven't been over there to see it in the last little bit since he's added that, but so far everything's going great as far as I know and has been told. And I was like, okay, that's what, if everything's good and not fighting and it's going well, then go for it. So but last time I did see it, everything was like, his plants were growing huge. He had like a flower coming out of the tank, and all the tetra were still there, and his angelfish are huge compared to what they were. So my mom still hates the sound of the filter. But I got it as quiet as I possibly could get it, so she's okay. But she doesn't appreciate water like I do.
So do you use HOBs on that? Do they use HOBs or sponge filters?
It's a Tetra Whisper filter for the, I think it was for the 15 to 30 gallon, and then I stuffed it full of aquarium media and sponge. So he's That's what I put on it. And because those Tetra, the whisper ones are quiet. Like I can't really hear too much stuff running in the fish room, and I have them on every single tank. Well, every single tank down here, but 4. I have 4 that don't have any filters, and it's relatively quiet. So that's the reason I chose that one. Because, like I said, my mom, she doesn't like to hear the water.
So you don't. How many tanks do you have now?
I think it was 24.
And you don't have a central air system yet?
No. We talk about it all the time, but we never follow through with anything.
Yeah, I get that. I can totally see that.
I have a couple, like I've always
What
used
got you?
the hang on the backs. And I have a couple sponge filters now that I do use, and they're on their like own little mini air pump. And then I do have an FX4 on the Arowana tank. So I've branched out a little bit. But
yeah, I got the FX4 just because I know it was a little bit too overkill for a 10-gallon tank, but I'm like, it gets so cloudy that, especially when I was doing the dirty tank, that I needed it to just get all of that out. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting that one, and then I don't have to use it all the time. But
yeah, mine up there. That it's on a 180. The Arowana tank right now is 180 gallon, and I am on the lookout as like every day for a larger tank because it's getting to it can still turn with plenty of room, but it's getting to the point where it's about as long as the tank is wide. I've got to find a bigger tank.
Oh wow!
And I thought for sure they would be easier to find, but nope. And I probably could find them anywhere and everywhere if I didn't need one.
Actually, the best place to find a bigger tank is online for Craigslist and places like that. Yep. Because people move and they don't want to have to take those big tanks with them.
Yep, I definitely do. And I'm even willing to like rent a U-Haul and travel.
That's how I wound up with this 180 gallon.
Yeah, this one that I have, I lucked out with it too because the nursing home in our area was upgrading tanks. And I don't know what they had in that tank and what they spray painted all the aquarium decor purple.
Oh
and
my.
So it was quite the cleanup, but I was so desperate for a bigger tank that I resealed it. I cleaned it up. I did everything I possibly could. And I was like, I will take it sight unseen, whatever condition, and everything comes with it. But yeah, I lucked into that tank. Just completely lucked into it.
That's awesome.
I was very thankful because that Arowana has been it was at a 10-gallon at the fish store. Then I put it in a 20 long, and then it went to a 55-gallon, and then to the 180. And now I need like a 300-gallon plus. But that's about as big as I can put in that room. When it outgrows it's going to have to go somewhere with a bigger, like, Merry Christmas, you have a bigger tank.
What temperature do they need to be kept at?
I keep mine, I think that is at it bounces between 75 to 78 because that room does kind of fluctuate, but I have a huge heater in that tank and I have it set at like 77. And when I check the temperatures in the winter, it's more towards 75. In the summer, it's closer to 80. But I don't think they can handle super cold. So I don't let it get super cold.
Yeah, so that's not a fish that you could rehome to a large pond.
No, but it probably would it would be ideal but they jump so bad that I don't know. But if it was like where you live, where it never gets cold and you can summer tub all the time.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. But here it just gets a little too cold in the winter. It wouldn't do good outside.
Yeah, here in the Northeast, in Buffalo, New York, it would freeze to death.
Yeah. There's all kinds of cool people here.
Thank you all for coming on in. So I think I know, but what got you into YouTube? I think you kind of touched on how you got into it, but
I was having trouble with that research project and couldn't find the answer, and was decided to start like searching on YouTube because I had no idea. And I kind of stumbled onto there's fish videos, and I had no idea that there was fish videos. And I had a fever of like 102 or 3. And I was like, I'm going to start a channel. I can do this. Someone out there in this community can help me find the answer that I'm looking for. So I started like just filming my experiment and putting out there. And that's what's started. And I think if I remember right, it was just Science Gal.
I love that.
And then I changed to Science Gal Aquatics at some point during the process. But I know when I did my presentation, I had 9 subscribers, and I was going around to anybody that could listen and would listen. And I was like bragging on myself hardcore. I was like, look at this. I've got 9 subscribers. I'm so proud of myself. They have helped me. And I was just astonished that people would watch my little experiment and help me. And that's kind of how it blossomed. And then I just kept it going. I think there was like 6 months that I had 6 months to a year that I had no idea what to do. And I was kind of researching how to make videos and learning about audio and trying to figure out how to get music behind, like all that.
Oh, geez.
Like, I don't even know how to do a thumbnail. What's a thumbnail? And took some time to kind of, and then I just dived down in the rabbit hole. For tips for fish building in general. For a fish room, I don't know. It was just trial and error to see what works. That's what I've done. I've had my fish room in the living room, in the basement. I've had tanks out, like a few outside for a little bit. It's really, I don't have any. I wish I did. I'm really bad on like answering questions on the spot. And I'm sorry.
So the one thing that I would say there, Shanna, which I know you did not ask me, is plan.
Yes, that is true. Measure and plan. Measure. That would be a good tip. Measure, because I can't tell you how many times I have moved a tank and thought for sure in my head and eyeballed it, that will fit. And then I've got it in there and it does not fit. And it's changed the entire layout of everything. So yes, that would be, thank you, Kevin. Once you start talking, it jogs my memory.
And when you're taking your measurements, remember to take into effect the size of the stand, not just the tank.
Yes. Very, very true. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten myself. Yes, measure. You
can lose 4 inches on a wall real fast with having multiple stands next to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I have that the tanks over there on the 10-gallon, and I'm like, because I have limited room, so I'm like, okay, I need to fit these things in there. And like I'm trying to get a rack for here, but I'm like, okay, so now I need to figure out. I need to get that whole racking system over there because I'm just like won't fit otherwise.
Yes, so and plan.
Yes. That's just my problem.
Plan for plugins, because like with me, I don't have. If you have a bunch of cords that drive you absolutely crazy. Like I will finally get everything like lined out how I want it and measure it, and then I won't have a dang plug-in.
I have redone the cords in my fish room at least 4 times in the last month.
Yes, they drive me absolutely crazy. So that would be, and then I have to go get Jesse and be like, I need you to make me a plug-in right here. We have a couple more spots in the outlet box that you can do something, can't you? Yeah.
Another thing is to make sure you have access to water.
Yes.
And if you can, make sure you have access to a window that you can just put your tank water out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's much easier than carrying buckets.
Yes. Because when I first moved the fish tank
doing.
downstairs, I had to carry buckets up the stairs and out. And I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting a pump to pump this water in these tanks, and I'm getting another pump to pump the water out. And we have like a little, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of the water hose right there.
Yep.
There's a little bitty hole up there that it goes outside. And I was like, that was the best investment I've ever spent, was so I do not have to carry, because I was filling up all these tanks with a gallon drinking water tub at a time. And then I would drain all the tanks into 5-gallon buckets, and I would carry them upstairs and dump it in the roseberry bushes. And that took days.
Yeah.
To change a 180-gallon tank with a 1-gallon drinking water tub. So yes, make a plan for your water changes, and if you have multiple tanks, make a plan for the water, because it gets old really quick. Your arms and legs look great from carrying all the water, so if you want to work out, that's great, but it gets old real quick.
Just fill it halfway. Just fill the bucket I still am using buckets and plug in the water, and it's like right outside of my room, but I'm still like getting it in because I have hardwood floors, so I'm like,
Something else you might want to think about is your lighting and your filters themselves, how much power they're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So try to look for the lowest power draw that you can.
Yeah.
If that means getting a larger light that'll go over several tanks rather than having one light per tank. Or using the sponge filters so that you only have the air pump running.
Yeah. I'm going to write down these tips myself.
Yeah.
It's helpful when you have more people to think of, like brainstorm. Like, yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah, I've had trouble with that.
It's always awesome whenever we have these live streams, because it's like, you have 30 people in here that you can talk to, and if one person doesn't know something, others always almost always there's somebody else here that has had that problem and has an answer, which is always good.
Yeah, and when it comes to like planting the fish in my fish room, like there's some that I have researched out, and I'm like, I want these. I'm going to seek them out. I'm going to keep them. And there's others, no matter how hard I say I'm not, they're impulse buys because I fell in love with them. And I was like, I can't leave without these. And it's like, well, I do have that tank. And so no matter how much you plan, you always have those tanks that are those fish too that just kind of come. They're here.
Yep. And when you see them, it's like, oh, I just got to have them because I've never seen them before. Or I know the next time I come back, it's not going to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many over the years that I was like, man, I wish I would have bought that, because I thought, well, I'll come back and they'll still be here. And then they weren't.
Now, I know you said that you keep snails in your tank. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a problem with your snails getting algae on their shells?
Mm-hmm. I have. I see it from time to time.
And that's okay for them? It doesn't hurt them at all?
It doesn't seem to hurt them. When I see it, I do try to, like, when I'm cleaning the algae up the tank, I'll just kind of rub it off. But I have puffers upstairs, so if I get too many, I'll take some upstairs to the puffers. But those puffers, they're very picky on the size. Not all of them will work.
Well, I have golden mystery snails that are getting some algae on their shells. And I put shrimp in the tank, and the shrimp are trying to clean them off. And the snails, they seem to be okay with it. But I see the shrimp riding around on the back of the snail.
Yep, I see that too. Yep. If I see one that when I'm cleaning that tank, I'll just kind of rub their shell, just kind of rub it off with my thumb and clean them up a little bit. But I do see it from time to time, especially with this tank behind me. This one. This is the one. Me and this tank, we fight. We fight.
My guppies do that to my snails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I have some tanks that my snails look fabulous, and then I have some tanks that I'm like, man. some of them look really good, and some of them, their shells, you can tell that they just probably need more calcium. But like I said, like then I have other tanks. It's like tank to tank. Each one's different.
Oh yes. And they can be right next to each other, and it's like, why is this tank doing this and the other isn't?
Yes. Like share the same light.
Yes, you share the same light. You share the same water. Nothing's different.
Drastically different.
Oh, roundhouse. So I am curious. I know you've had them, but what is the first fish or aquatic animal you ever kept?
On my own was guppies and snails. I had like a snail, and then it populated so much that you couldn't even see through the glass. But I had like a water theme. I can't remember what age I was, maybe 10 or 12-ish, somewhere around there. My parents, me and my sister shared a room, and we split the room with our bunk beds. And they let us decorate and paint and do whatever we wanted to our room. So I painted it the best I could, like an ocean theme. Like I painted all the walls blue, and I took like lime green and did like little swirly. And then I had a little like 5-gallon like vertical tank. I had one in each corner of my area of the room. And I had random guppies. I don't even remember. They were just random guppies and snails. And they were cold water. I didn't have any heaters. I remember it was probably like, my water probably was like 68. And then I can't remember what, I think I just had an older hang on the, no, I had just a bubble stone. It was just a bubble stone, an air stone. That's all I had. I didn't have any other, it was just an air stone. And that's what my first one that I kept. My dad always had the 30-gallon in the living room. And he let us like go to the fish store and pick out fish. And that tank was just a free for all. There was grammies and angel fishes, and there was probably some kind of shark and catfish. There's all kind. It was just a free for all in that tank, and nothing ever fought. It always worked. But on my own, that I took care of 100% was my room full of guppies and snails. And
that's
I don't.
Awesome. Yeah, no. You gotta love the guppies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very fish themed. I had like fish stickers all over the wall because I couldn't paint the fish. So I just remember every time I got a fish sticker, saw something fish, I'd put it on the wall.
Oh, that's funny. I love that though. Okay, so besides your fish, what other animals do you have? I know you have Shiba Inus, but what other animals do you have? And they are so cute.
Yeah, I'll go down the list. I've got the mom and dad Shiba. So yeah, they're ornery. I have the mom and dad Shiba. Then we just have, they're 6 weeks today, the 3 puppies. Then I have my long-haired Chihuahua and my crazy cat and a rabbit. Yeah.
What kind of rabbit?
I have no idea. It's a gray one, a gray and white one. It's not like I think it's just, Jesse brought it home because one of his friend's daughter during COVID got a rabbit for the dorm because she was bored, and then she got in trouble and it needed rehomed quickly. So they texted us. So we just went and picked it up. And it came with the cage and everything. And I had never had a rabbit, but it's the most adorable thing. It's so soft and so loving, and like it'll just sit on your lap like a cat and just be more adorable. But I honestly have no idea. I have no idea.
My daughter has a rabbit.
I had, like I said, never kept one. And I am so surprised how they're just like loving. They'll just let you sit there and like cuddle on it. I was like, this is so cute. I used guppies. It was guppies for my research project. More guppies.
And it was you were doing stress. What was the project on? Again?
I had 4 tanks. 2 were sand and 2 were gravel. And out of those, one of the gravel and one of the sand tanks was stressed, and one was stress-free. And I made my own little clay big fish on a skewer stick that I would swim around to stress them. And I was trying to see how that manipulated the fry. And then between the 2 substrates, how that manipulated their coloration. So with the sand tanks that were stressed, they weren't speckled. They were still pretty. I used the blue tuxedo and the yellow mosaic, I think, or yellow, I can't remember. And then with the gravel tanks, they became speckled. They were blue with they developed black dots all over them. But the stress-free tanks, they were beautiful. They were just long fins and beautiful color. And then the stressed ones they're stressed. Because I would swim I have it right here. This is what I use this. I would swim around. So for a guppy, that would be kind of scary. That was my best artwork at the time, you know?
Well,
I did find my backup one. This was my backup one right here. I did find it the other day.
So, oh yeah, I remember you were looking for that one.
So that's what
on the other one. So I have to ask, just because I was talking to somebody else the other day, and they were saying that because I think Eli does a lot of breeding, and she was saying that he said that if you do it more often, they kind of get used to it. Did you notice that at all, or no?
When I was stressing them?
Yeah.
Did they get used to it? Maybe a little bit. They still were stressed. If they got used to it and saw it coming, they still hid. And you could just tell they had split fins. Their color was muted. You could still see the speckles on the stressed gravel tank. Their coloration wasn't as just blue as the sand tanks, but they were still stressed. They might acclimate to it, but they were still stressed. And they popped fry out all the time. They popped fry. They didn't hold on. They popped fry out all the time. Were the ones that just had it easy going. I can't remember, but I got maybe 1 or 2 drops. I didn't get very many fry out of them because there's just they had no reason to drop them. They were.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But I think if I did it today, I'd probably still get the same results, obviously, but I would understand more what was going on. I took 21 hours that semester on top of this research project and everything else. And I think I had 3 mental breakdowns during that semester because it was just so much. I didn't have time to all I had time to do was notice what I was looking at. And because it was just a lot. But it was interesting. Even the result, there is still plenty to see and observe. And I wish I had more time. If I ran it for a year versus just a few months, it would have, yeah. I think it would be fun. Just more time to work stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven says he would have expected the opposite. But I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because if they're stressed out, they want to produce as many as they can to keep going with the line, their population. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But that is interesting. I guess I need to stress my fish out more then.
Yeah, maybe. They might not look too pretty, but
I think you said they don't get quite as big, right?
No, the fry were super small because there were so many of them. They were just tiny. Whereas, like even guppy fry in general are tiny, but you could just even tell by eyeballing it that the stress-free, they're just larger and less. They were less in a brood and bigger. Whereas the ones were stressed, they were larger brood sizes, and that's what they were called. And they were tiny. There's so many of them. But if they were under threat, they want their species to survive.
Yeah,
they're lower on the totem pole of the food chain, so you expect to see more fry.
Okay, so then what other hobbies do you have besides your fish? I know you intentionally bred your Shiba Inus.
No, I didn't intentionally breed them.
Oh, really?
No, I was
a
not responsible dog owner and assumed, because time escapes me, and I was like, we got the puppy, the daddy dog, from Jesse's ex-wife. And I was like, he's so little, he can't do anything. And he was the runt. He was just not tall enough to do anything. And I blamed Jess because she was talking about her cute little corgis, and I had puppy brain, and I like wished them through the law of attraction into my life. The cat's gonna knock my computer down. And,
well, he's not here.
All of a sudden, the daddy dog had a growth spurt, and then we had puppies. But he's going in the day after we get back from Aquashella. He had his pre-examination the other day, and he's getting neutered the day after we get back from Aquashella. He's going.
Are you going to Dallas as well?
I'm going to try. That's the one that's going to be the hardest because it falls on Halloween and with the kids and trick-or-treating. But my son, he doesn't like candy. When we do take him trick-or-treating, after one house, he's done. So I don't know if he wants to go with us. He never wants to he never wants to go. So if he wants to go, he can. If he wants to go with Nana, then we'll go. It just kind of depends on the trick-or-treating and the kids, honestly, with Dallas. But I'm going to try to go to as many as I can because they're so fun. It's like the highlight of my entire life. I talking to people. I was like, oh, I didn't know this would be so fun. It's really helped bring me outside my box of just my basement.
So you've done it. So you went to one other, right?
This will be my third one.
Third. Wow. Yeah, I'm hoping to go to the Dallas.
I would love to go to one. Stephen wants to know how long did you run the experiment
I was just booking the hotel and stuff tonight.
Mm-hmm. I ran the experiment the semester. So what is it? 12 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever. I don't even remember. I blocked that time of my life. Like, I'm done. It was just my senior research project, and we had to do it before we graduated, and it was a length of a semester. So.
Oh, wow.
That's the reason I do wish I would have had more time to extend it and had more time to actually properly work on it besides just doing what I was looking for. Sometimes the little side things you notice are the most, like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. No, and that makes, you do what you think is interesting. So that does make sense. Mm-hmm. Especially if you don't have much time.
And honestly, I didn't know what I was getting I kind of thought that it was going to be easier than it was. So that's the reason I took 21 hours. I was like, I could do this huge thing too. And then it just kind of took up a lot more time and was a little bit more detailed than I thought it was going to be because I was getting so many results and things that I didn't even cross my mind that I'd have to observe, like how to measure fry without hurting them. I figured I just crossed that when I got to it. And then I was like, this might take because I was trying to just I ended up taping a ruler to this to the glass and just recording it and then drawing lines on the spot to get the exact measurement. But I had to, if I'm going to stretch it to see how they manipulate it, I needed measurements of the fry, and I can't just take them out of the water and measure them with a tape measure. So it took just little things like that I was like, man, I didn't even think about that. Like, how am I going to do that? And I did end up getting like a Petri dish and setting the fry one at a time in a Petri dish with some tank water and putting the ruler underneath it too. I did that for a while. Like, it was just little things trying to measure those fry and not get the same fry and getting them all mixed up and putting them in their own tanks. And it was like, this was a little bit more detailed, a little bit more than I thought. Yeah, 21 hours. I'm not joking. I had a couple, because I took immunology and statistics online, and I had never taken an online class in general. And they're a lot of work on top of this. And then I had like a futuristic technology class, and we had to come up with a futuristic company and do presentations and group work with that. And then I can't even remember. I think I had an English class. It was just so much. And I was like, but I wanted to be done. Yeah, it was awful. Awful.
So I think I asked, but what other hobbies do you have? I kind of derailed you, but
no, I didn't answer because I don't have any. Between the kids, the animals, YouTube, keeping up with my clients at the salon on the weekends, and helping my mom with my dad and Jesse's kiddos, and scheduling which weekend is where and who's going to be what. That's really about all.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
There's a couple things that I wish, like, I had more time to hike and more time to go like on canoe trips. I like to go outside. I'm
nice
and like do stuff like that. But hopefully this summer we can just one day on the weekends, on a Saturday or something, if I'm not working, like, let's just go somewhere. Go to the creek.
Hi, BJ.
All these fishing trips at Catfish Kerri. I want to go fishing.
I know. I went we went a little, I don't remember. We did go somewhat recently fishing. It was kind of nice. We went up to Tahoe, and so my dad helped me, but he helps rig everything up. But we did go fishing, and that was fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's starting to be that time of year where. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What? I don't usually keep it, right? It's more like catch and release type thing. Every once in a while, his dad or something, Jesse's dad will do something for a fish fry, but it's usually just like, go see what we can catch and throw them back.
Nice. And that's how I don't know. I don't always keep all of the fish. I'm like, sometimes when you catch so many, it's like, can't keep them all. Just in the freezer, I get sick of them. So, what advice would you give someone who is getting into the hobby?
Patience. Just learn patience. You get excited like I do. And I'm like, yeah, especially with these plants, because sometimes I'm like, man, I'm doing good today. And then there's other times everything I touch, it breaks, falls apart.
It's setting up
wilts. It's like sometimes I just need to take a step back. I'm trying too hard. And really patience, because there's always something to learn. There's always something new to see, some new technique. And it's just sometimes like just learning, and the battle's half the fun. With this hobby, you're going to fail probably before you get it right. And just patience. Don't quit. Stick with it, because no matter how hard you try, you're going to have ick. You're going to have a tank crash. Something's going to happen. You're going to have a filter go out and you didn't notice it. And don't beat yourself up. It happens to the best of us. And then you have those days that you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so worth it. Just patience. The cat's gonna fall.
For me it was it's always setting up the tank. Like I have tanks like sitting there, and I had these 5-gallon tank or the 10-gallon tank sitting there for like several months, and and finally my dad was helping me get it all ready and get the tank set up or the rack ready. And then I'm like, okay, I got the tanks, now they're filled up, now I want to just add stuff in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to wait. But I'm like, I've been waiting so long, now I just want to add it.
Yep.
Well, you have to wait and you don't. It depends on how many water changes you're willing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I know that, and I still impulse buy. I'm like, why do I do this?
I feel like I'm always like, I have enough tanks. I get fish that I can keep in like a community tank, and so I will impulse buy. I'm like, I'll find somewhere to put them. I have enough tanks. I'll find somewhere to put them. Oh
yeah, me too. That's the reason my 30-gallon bow front has turned into more of a community tank, because I was like, I can have more cool things if I don't just make every tank a one guppy tank, like branch out of the box a little bit. Go back to some of the things you've kept before, but you didn't know how to keep them. Because I had, in that one apartment, I had 3 green spotted puffers and a rope fish and something else in there for a while. And I had no idea what I was doing. And it worked for a while, but like go back to some of these things and actually take the time and appreciate what you had, because you didn't when you had it, and you should have. Oh, wow. 50% off.
Yeah, I was just about to say to Danny, I'm happy and I'm really sad that I don't have a Pet Supplies Plus near me.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so dangerous. Oh, that would be dangerous. Petco's already dangerous.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, my salon's 2 hours away from where I live, and on the weekends when I go, there's a Petco there. But we only have a PetSmart, and we've only had a PetSmart for probably, I think maybe 3 years at the most, 2.5, 3 years. And before that, we had one little bitty tiny fish store. But now we have a few other options. But for a while, it was a little like cinder block, 1 room, little building. And that's where our fish store was. And then she retired and sold it. And now it's more of a pet store, but we do have a PetSmart now that it competes with. But it has salt water now. So I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that recently, too.
Yeah, they built up a whole, it was just a bunch of, they built a roundabout and put a big strip mall. It was a PetSmart, a Ross, a TJ Maxx, and an Academy all right there. And we're used to just having Walmart. So we were like, whoa, look at this coming to town. I was like, wow.
Now see, here we have Petco, PetSmart, and Pet Supply Plus.
Wow.
And we have at
dangerous.
least 2 really good local fish stores. One of them's been in business for over 40 years that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the pet place?
Yeah, the fish place.
Oh, the fish place.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like some really good options. I'd always be at the fish store.
Unfortunately, mine's like 20, 30 minutes away, and I don't drive. So, it's literally been 4 months since I've been, and I'm like, oh, geez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that's closer, I go every couple of weeks. I'll either stop in and see what he has, or I'll call and see what's new. But the one that I've been digging here recently that's new to me, it's about an hour away, 45 minutes to an hour. So I'll go on special occasions if Jesse gets rained out from work or something and we are bored. We're like, let's go see. Let's go make a trip up there and see what's going on. So it's always like a spontaneous, spur of the moment trip. But yeah, I always get in trouble. They have pond plants and all kinds of stuff there. And last time I went there, I was like, wow, I shouldn't go there for a while.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I walk in and say, oh, I just need 3 things. And I walk out with 6 tanks and everything for them. And
okay, Kerri, no wonder why you impulse buy then. If you're going there all the time, no wonder why you impulse buy. It's so
last time I went to that store,
and say, I'm not going to.
Last time I went there, I got in my head I need a dragon. I've been caught. I need a dragon stone. And I didn't realize how expensive dragon stone was because I didn't ask. And I was like, oh, you have a box full of it. I just want all of it. And I went to check out, and I had already committed to it. I didn't want to say no, but it was like $99 worth of dragon stone. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you watch?
You should ask next time.
Did you watch Prime Time Aquatics video? They had one on some Dragonstone, or they said, I think it was Walmart or something like that.
Oh wow!
Where you can get free delivery too. You should check that video out.
Yeah. Well,
but I thought.
But after all that hassle of bringing, I haven't even used it.
I always want more and more fish and stuff.
Oh, I hate it when they do that. I hate it and I love it because I have 2 boxes at my house. One is for driftwood and one is for rocks. Mm-hmm. And whenever I go to the fish place, I'll buy a piece of each. And eventually when I get tanks or decide to change things, I have what I need to set it up. Mm-hmm. Which is all well and great that I'm prepared, but in the meantime, it's in the way. Mm-hmm. And it just, you start saying, well, I could do this with it, I could do that with it, and then you wind up with 23 more tanks.
Yes.
I think pretty soon Jen is gonna sleep on the floor because I think she's getting rid of all of her furniture. Hello, John Oliver.
I would think about it, except for I have a little too much trouble getting up off the floor. But yes, I got rid of one couch. I'm ready to get rid of the other couch that's in the bedroom. I've decided the recliners and the swivel chairs are great for sitting in to watch my fish, and that's really all I want to do. So
yeah, that's all you need.
I don't need the other things.
I'm with Danny on that one.
Well, half the time the recliner is the most comfortable thing to sleep and sit in. It's like that's all I. The couch in my bed is like, no, it hurts my back.
Yeah, my butt would get sore sitting the whole time. I need to lie down, and I like sleeping on my side, so that doesn't help. But
well, I was playing with. I don't know, it was like a year and a half
Elizabeth,
ago.
That's nice.
Kids fell down the steps and basically hurt a whole vertebrae. I twisted it and knocked it out of socket, like completely out of whatever. And I couldn't walk for 4 days. I'm like, man, I'm getting even too old to play with the kids. I fall down the stairs. Yeah, I've messed up my whole back. Never been the same.
My dad was doing does stupid things all the time still, and it's like I keep on forgetting I'm not a kid anymore. He's immature, but he's not a kid anymore. And so it's just like he's like the things I used to do and the things that I do when I do it now, I just don't bounce back nearly as quickly.
Nope. And I'm a klutz. I can't even walk without falling. There's always something wrong because I run into things. I was like, man, I can't
always
even play. Into things. I was like, I get hurt.
Yep. Hey, Larry. Yep, I'm the same way. Worst one was when I ran into a pole, and I guess I was running so quickly that I didn't see it, and so there was a pole. There's like a blue pole, and it scraped up like my whole. I probably would have knocked out my teeth if I didn't have braces on. But as it was, it like cut up all my. I'm like, oh geez.
Yeah, I knocked out my front teeth playing soccer. I need my own self in the face, and luckily they were baby teeth. But I knocked out my 2 front teeth playing soccer. But I was practicing like kneeing in on my, bouncing it off my knees, and I knocked my own face and knocked my front teeth out. But yeah.
Wait, with your knee or with the ball?
It was kind of both. It was kind of like first the ball hit, then my knee followed.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I broke 3 ribs doing a water change.
Yeah. I haven't broke 3, but that sounds extremely painful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I went to hoist the bucket up over the rim of the tub, and the weight of it just swung too far, and I went crashing into the corner of my bathroom sink.
Yep. That sounds, and you can't even breathe. It hurt just to even like take a baby breath. You're like, for weeks, it just hurts. Just hurt.
And actually, it was okay. Catch my breath. I've got to finish doing these water changes. Damn it!
Yeah, I've got to finish it. I've already committed to the process, but dang, this is gonna hurt the entire rest of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't broke ribs, but I've definitely threw my back out after it got hurt. Now it's like super easy to throw it out, and carrying buckets every once in a while, you just tweak the wrong way. You just twist. It's just like the smallest little movement. And you're like, oh gosh. Yeah. Yep. I'm down.
Yeah, that can happen. I totally get that. That can definitely happen.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, I don't. Anyways, yeah, I'm so bad.
Well, after that, I actually got the Lifeline button installed. Because I was not going to be the one who falls in the bathroom and can't get up and can't get to a phone.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have a problem where my cat likes to bite the button and set it off.
Those cats have a knack for finding like the one thing you don't want them to push.
Oh yeah.
The one thing you don't want them to look at you and purposely knock it off. They have a knack for that.
Oh, geez, Larry.
And your cat looks a lot like mine. When she first went across the back of you, it was like, is Misty behind me? No, that's not me.
Yep. She's in the rabbit pen right now. I know where she went. And they finally, there for a while they would fight. The cat would pester this rabbit, but now they're friends. I came down here the other day and the cat got in the rabbit pen, and I have like one of those little alfalfa tunnels that it can like gnaw on and play with. And the cat was asleep with its head in the alfalfa tunnel. Just in the rabbit cage. I was like, well, at least the friends. But the rabbit was the one that beat the cat up. The cat didn't do any damage to that poor. I thought the cat would hurt it, but nope, that rabbit's tough.
Oh yeah, they are.
We're gonna learn to get along. But it seems like there's always one part of the day where someone forgets they'll leave the basement door open, and I always like to keep it closed so that the cat won't get down here. But there's always at some point where someone leaves the door open and the cat.
Larry, have I mentioned that you need to learn how to do water changes before you can have one of those?
Ooh.
Those axolotls are cool.
Danny, yeah, but they're so cute. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, the rabbit did. The only thing the rabbits cause damage is we'll let it hop around the fish room, the basement area to exercise outside its little pen. And I had one of those digital thermometers that you would stick one in the tank and then it would kind of read. Like you could just glance, see what temperature, and it ate the cord to that. But so far,
It gnawed through. Well, my dog ate fucking leather leash. So now I can't. I'm not surprised there, but Killer rabbit. Yeah.
Wow, Larry, that's an early night for you. I just realized how early it is.
Yep, I noticed that. I was very surprised. Oh, roundhouse.
Jesse would agree on that.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah, I know. Oh. Hi, Steve.
Oh, they're not anywhere near that expensive at our place. Oh, hi, Steve.
Yeah, I've just seen them at the auction, so they're always a little bit cheaper at the auction in general, but I've never seen them for sale at our pet store, fish store here where I live. So just the prices in general at the store, the auction are cheaper. So they're like $20, $25 usually. But they probably double that
at my pet store. They're selling the little babies.
Oh. I bet those would be absolutely adorable. Little baby axolotl.
Good point, Roundhouse. I'll give you that. My bad. I apologize there. You're right. You think I'd learn by now. I want a Larry.
Rabbit is actually a very popular dish in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. They are here where I live. There's not as many people that keep them as they enjoy them for dinner.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
I think some places around here honestly just breed them for meat. It's not very common for very many people around here to keep them as pets, but I very much enjoy them. And I had no idea that I would enjoy them.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I could.
I enjoy visiting my daughter's bunny, but I don't think I'd want one in my house.
Yeah, I don't know if I could.
Every time I have to turn around, I got to clean its little cage. But I got its rabbit pen, and then I zip tied like the bigger pen, like so it can get out and hop still. And then once, twice a week, we just let it completely out to roam around down here in the basement.
Yeah, my daughter's got an arrangement with her local grocer that they save all the leaves from the lettuce and things that they pull off every day so that she can buy them at a discounted rate.
Yeah, I planted a bunch of extra carrots this year. I've never been successful at growing carrots, but this year I think I did it. They're actually transplanted in the garden from the seeds, and they didn't die. And right. I was hoping I got spinach, lettuce, and arugula that I sprouted. And we've gotten 3 or 4 salads off of it already. And I'm hoping to have tons of extra little vegetable stuff to give the rabbit, because the wild ones in our front yard ate up all the spinach last year. So I know it'll love it.
Oh, yes.
So if you enjoy gardening, do you like, since I know you do like the science of things, do you like aquaponics? Or have you not dabbled yet?
I have fun trying it. I don't have any rhyme or reason behind it in any planning. I just take my old fish tank water that goes out this water hose, and it's got a sprinkler on the other end of it, so it kind of sprinkles the garden as I water change. But that's about. And the one we did put we dug up a new spot, and that one I'll just take like a bucket out there and just kind of sprinkle it. But I don't have any like aquaponics system or anything. I just take the fish water and put the sprinkler on the end of the water hose. And it's like a pump that if the basement floods, It's just one of those. It's the smallest one of those at Lowe's, and I just put a water hose on it and put a sprinkler on the other end. And it's not like it doesn't get big, but it has enough pressure that it gets to where it needs to go. But I know we have to do a lot of extra weeding on the yard where that is. It helps grow the vegetables and the weeds in the yard. But
yeah, I can imagine that.
It does make a huge difference. Just the little bit that I do use. I've tried growing a vegetable garden for years, and it wasn't until this will be my second year using fish tank water. And I have gotten stuff that I have tried. And I'm finally, so it does work. It does work. Yeah, sump pump. One of those things.
That's what I have over there. I have one over there because I use that because I have my 70 it's like 72 inches up, so I need to use that to get it up to that top tank.
It really was one of the best investments ever.
Yeah, I can bring I don't like to, but I can bring the 5-gallon buckets into my room. It's getting it up there that I'm like, okay, I need to use a sump pump. I need to do something.
And that one that I use for the nasty water, it does help because every once in a while our basement does flood. The one that I have for the tank water going in, the clean one, I clean it off when every once in a while, like, I don't know, just general stuff will get in there and it just needs to be wiped down and cleaned off. But I keep that one as clean as I possibly can. Nothing touches it. But the one that I use for the dirty water, if something down here leaks, it is nice to have that. And then we'll just hose it off and clean it up, soak it in some vinegar, clean it up and put it back in there and then pump the water back outside again.
Oh, nice.
But we have sealed this basement 3 or 4 times and it doesn't leak near like it was. But when I first moved in here, this basement flooded every time it rained.
Ooh, yeah, that would be just a tad bit difficult. Although, you do have a lot of aquariums and a lot of water down there. So
yeah, I've accidentally flooded it a few times on my own, but
yeah,
it was when I went to Dallas.
My dad would kill me. I've done that once, and my dad would kill me if I didn't.
Because this is the trash can. But I think it was when I went to Dallas Aqua Chalet. Jesse and everybody was in charge of the tanks, but I had left this on to where it was just dropping like a couple of drops a second, I guess, just enough to barely notice it was trickling. And he came down here to check on things, but he didn't come down here to check on things to the day I was coming back home. And there was like 1 inch of water everywhere. It wasn't horrible, but it was enough of a mess you had to, yeah. And so that was the last time. I've done it a couple of times, but that was the last time I've done it, to where it was that sometimes I used to do water change. Now I do water changes like in the morning. I do them at night for a while, and I would get distracted by the kids. And every so often I would drain a tank and forget about it. And when I'd wake up the next day, it had flooded everything. There was enough water in the tank to make the fish were okay, but it was like that much. And so I've learned, stop doing water changes at night, because no matter what, you'll forget.
Too tired.
Yeah. Down here I have 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, 16, I have like 21. And then upstairs I have 3. And then I have this stuff outside. But just down here, this is where I keep all my main ones, all the nano ones. Upstairs I have a 75-gallon. It was the goldfish tank. But now I think I'm gonna move the goldfish outside and put something in there. I don't know yet. And then I have the arowana tank, and then the 40-gallon breeder for the puffers is what I have upstairs.
Wait, how many puffers do you have again?
I have 3 figure 8s right now.
Okay.
They're 40-gallon.
Wow, they have a lot of room.
I had 4, but now I just have 3. But I lost that one. Oh. It was like the next day after I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was shortly after I got it, maybe a few days. I can't remember. A few days later, but these 3, they're hanging in there. They're done really good. I keep them on it, deworm them. I still keep, because I feed them snails, and from what I understand, they can still get worms from eating snails down here in the fish room. I feed them, so I don't want to overdo it, but I feel like I should probably do it more often. But it seems like right now everything's doing good, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But that's my brackish tank. That's the one that's the brackish, and I battle evaporation. I got to get a lid for it, but I can't find one right now that I like. It's just like something bumps it and it falls in, or it's like I just don't like it.
Hey, Kenny.
So
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Kenny.
Welcome.
Hi, Danny. Oh, yep, that's Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
I am noticing about 6 or 8 of the baby killifish today.
Oh.
They're only less than a week old.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I want some. Once you get a batch or 2 more.
Yeah,
I like to watch killifish eat. I like their mouths are cool. I like to watch them eat.
Hey, Basin.
I like to watch gobies eat. Those are really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. I have 2. My first 2. It was one of them impulse buys. I went to the fish store, and the fish store guy was like, I really need you to take these because I don't know if anybody can take care of them. And I was like, well, if you say it like that, then of course I'm going to buy them. And they were $2 and I have them in a little 5-gallon tank right now. And they're doing good. I've had them for a little bit now, but I like to, they attack some frozen brine shrimp. Like they are, I always kept like the pea puffers. I always went the pea puffer route. But now that I have them, I'm like, these are awesome. I should have got these a long time ago.
I need to, I want some, there's so many ones that I want to do, but hard.
It's hard. I'm so indecisive too.
Uh-huh.
I thought about doing puffers just because I do have a large pest snail problem in all the tanks.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, well, that would be something I could feed to the puffers. But then I decided I just wanted to get rid of the snails.
Kenny,
yeah,
are you going to the one in Dallas, Kenny? I'm so sad I can't go to the one in Florida. Oh, so sad.
Yeah, that seems to be the one that most of the fish families go into.
Yeah, well, poor me's going to Hawaii, so.
Oh goodness!
Very sad I can't go. Oh,
that sounds
amazing.
I know.
$200
yes.
each for pea puffers?
Yeah.
In Australia, yeah. Yep.
Oh my.
Everything there is expensive, it seems like, for fish keeping. I was like, dang, props to you.
Yeah, I know. Even just tanks. I'm like, wow.
Wow, you really have to love fish to be in the hobby there.
Yeah, no kidding. Wait, where are you in your? Where are you?
Going to the? Are you talking about Daniken? Maybe. I'm going to meet him at the ACA in St. Louis in July. I'm excited.
Where? Oh.
It's
yeah.
the American Cichlid Association. That's kind of why I'm moving them goldfish outside, because I want to keep that 75-gallon open, because I know there's going to be some cool stuff there. And I was like, I need to keep my options open for tanks. And those goldfish will do way better outside because the other ones are doing way better outside. So it's like, then I'll have a 75-gallon that's been It's all free and clear. My options are open.
Oh my gosh. As it was, I'm like, I want to go to the only reason I asked to go to the Dallas one is because it's a few months after my birthday. So I'm like, you know what? I want that to be one of my presents, because I'm like, that's where I really want to go.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Dallas is going to be, a lot of people are going to Dallas. It seems like there's going to be quite a few that's going to Florida, but it seems like a lot of people are already got tickets for Dallas.
Wait, like, really?
Oh, yeah. I was like,
Are you going to go to the Dallas one or no?
I'm going to try. I'm going to really try. I'm going to try to go to Chicago one. I'm going to try to go to the Dallas. I'm going to try to go to all of them.
Thanks, James, and hello.
Anytime there's a show close, I'm going to try to go to that too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to go to the one in July or in a few weeks, the Aquashella in Florida. In Florida, but I'm like, of course it's right when we're going to Hawaii, and I'm like, that's my brother's.
Well, like, Hawaii doesn't seem all that bad.
I know, I'm so bummed about that one. But yeah, no, it should be fun.
My uncle lives in Hawaii. My dad's only sibling lives in Hawaii, and I had no idea. He has like, I think Dad said he had like 10 or 12 saltwater aquariums, and I was like, really? I had no idea. Like, there's another family member that has fish tanks in my family, and I had no idea that he lives in Hawaii.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, Kenny.
Had no idea. I've tried to talk to him a few times, but his schedule's really complicated. He's a nurse, and it seems like when I'm awake, he's asleep. And it's just kind of hard to connect, but I'm going to, because we need to have a conversation about these saltwater fish tanks. I tell my dad all the time, tell him call me. Tell him call me.
Yeah, I've been to Australia, 2 or 3 times? It's been fun. Twice. It was fun. Although we went to the Great Barrier Reef, and it is so sad now. It is really sad. There's not as much coral. It's not nearly. It was freezing cold for one, and I was shivering. We went scuba diving, and I was shivering, but I was also really disappointed because I don't have any on right now. My grandma's not here, so she's not bugging me to go get them done with her. Anyways, but. Yeah, we went to Australia, and unfortunately, Cairns, and unfortunately, they eat the spiny sea stars. Spiny sea stars eat like double their mass in freaking coral, and so they're actually paying divers to go down and inject them, the spiny sea stars, and to help with all of the corals, because it was the spiny starfish. Yeah, it was sad, but anyways, but yeah, no, I really do enjoy it. I enjoyed going to Australia. We went twice.
I don't even have a passport. I saw the ocean for the first time last year.
Wait, so are you flying?
Yeah, I'm flying this time.
Are you driving?
No, I'm not driving. I'm not spending 16. I don't think me and our relationship could handle me as a passenger for 16 hours in a car.
Well, you don't like to drive, but you're terrible back.
Well, I'm not like, I don't tell them how to drive. I don't tell them how to drive. I'm just one of those that when I don't know where I'm going, the anticipation and not knowing where I'm going really scares me. It brings out a lot of anxiety. So I don't really like tell him. I'm not saying like, oh, you should have turned here, you should turn here. But I'm like hyperventilating. I'm like obviously really nervous. And then that makes him nervous. So I'm not like a backseat driver. Like I'm telling him, oh, you should like we listen to Surrey or the GPS, and I'm like holding it like, and I'm like, okay, like I need to like quiet my breathing and go to my special place because I'm just really nervous. And I don't handle bridges well. It's one of those strange phobias that doesn't make any sense. And when I drive or I see a bridge coming, especially over water, I'm just like, put my head in my, and I'm like, just tell me when it's over, because I can't even, just talking about it makes me like, and it's just one of those irrational fears of, I'm afraid there's going to be an earthquake and I'm going to fall into the water in my car. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't like the dark.
I'm a nervous passenger, and I'm just, and once I'm there, it instantly goes away. Because I'm like, oh, this was really easy to find. And this was no trouble. Like, we didn't get lost. We didn't have 4 flat tires. I didn't have, like, my cell phone, I didn't drop it out the window and run over it. So I could call for, like, it's completely in my mind. Everything is always, as soon as I pull into the hotel, it all goes away. It's just driving there. And so, yes, we are flying.
Okay. Yeah, that I do get that, but
and like with the airports, I've flown quite a bit, and I'm usually nervous. I'm still a little bit of a wreck, but once I sit down and I find my gate, I'm fine. It's just the process of getting to my gate and sitting down, and then I read my book, and I'm good. I'm good to go. But there's something about driving, and I don't see very well. So if it's not like 3 foot in front of the car, I can't see it. So it's just like,
yeah, I have that issue too, where
it doesn't make some of my anxiety fears. I know even when I'm experiencing them, I'm like, this is probably not that big of a deal. Like,
yep, no, I'm
really
the same.
Not.
I'm the same way. I'm the same exact way. I don't like the dark, and I don't really like being home alone a lot of times either. It's
my
weird.
sister's like that. She can't. She freaks.
It's weird.
Freaks
I know I
out.
shouldn't, but it's just weird sometimes.
Yeah, she freaks herself out. She'll call me every once in a while, and she doesn't like to be home by herself very much. And my sister, if she cuts herself and sees it, she'll pass out immediately. And
oh geez,
I'm glad I don't have that. I can cut like a paper cut and I don't pass out. Like, it's sometimes just a paper cut and she'll just pass out. I'm like,
fluttering leaves. Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, no, I'm bad at that. But yeah, no, I don't mind flying, but I get such a headaches in car rides.
mm-hmm.
That's my issue. It's not really being nervous. It's just I don't like being in the car because it's stop and go, and the moving objects. Just I get a headache from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes if I like to wear contacts when I'm traveling because I can wear sunglasses, and that does help. But sometimes it makes my eyes tired wearing my contacts because I don't wear them a lot. I prefer my glasses, but I don't have one of those like clip-on things for these glasses, so I have to wear contacts to wear sunglasses. And traveling, it helps with headaches. I don't get as many headaches, but then my eyes just get tired from the contacts because I hate contacts. I hate them with a passion.
Yeah, I can see that. I get a headache from magnification, so unfortunately I can't really wear glasses either, which makes it really hard. I can't wear glasses, and it's my brain processing, so I can't do anything there, but I do get that. So I'm curious, Kerri, do you have any projects that you're working on or coming up in the future?
I'm gonna try to post a video soon. I'm really slacking on posting my videos. I really need to get on the ball again. Like I have plenty of stuff filmed. It's just the editing. So hopefully the videos coming up. And then I've been working on my website forever, and it's starting to kind of come together and pull together. So I've been actively working on my website, and it's just my mom makes some shirts for me, and I'm hoping that she doesn't have to work so hard, that she can just make shirts, because that's what she likes to do. She's creative. So maybe I can help her just make some t-shirts. And then it's got some, like, just the things I keep, guppies, like the live bears that I keep, just things that's worked for me, how I keep my tanks, just information maybe that'll help someone, how I keep my fish. Maybe it'll help someone else, just getting that all typed up. But hopefully that'll launch soon, and everybody can come read that and let me know how that looks. That's my big thing right now.
If you ever need some help with the website, I can help.
Well, I'll reach out. I'll let you know. It's Squarespace is the one that I'm using, trying to attempt to learn to use.
So for me, it's just a little bit expensive, but
it is expensive. But it was just one of those that it was I research stuff like that, but I don't know one from another. So if it looks good, it seems like it's easy to use, and there's some templates that will help me through the process, then I will go with that one. So, but
I get
there's
that.
A few other options out there now that I know a little bit more about it that I probably could have done, but it's already signed up and worked on, so I'll stick with it.
Yeah, for me, it killed me, because it's just so expensive that I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I tried Shopify as well, and I'm just like, is it worth it? I don't know. I'm going to try and do WordPress, though. That's the one that I'm going to try and do, because I'm just like, otherwise it just makes it, I'm like, it's just too expensive for me. But yeah, no, if you want some help, I do some coding, and I can always help with websites.
Yeah.
That's always fun for me.
I don't know. That's the reason it's taken me, like, no joke. Someone probably could have done this website in an hour, but it's taken me a while. And mainly just sitting down to do it, because if I stop moving, I get tired. That's the reason I'm like doing laundry, doing the dishes, doing this, doing that, doing this, because the moment I sit down and type, I'm like, well, I'm going to go sleep.
Yeah, no,
there's too much to do in my house to take a nap. There's always something to do, and something to clean, and someone forgot something and needs dropped off here. There's always something to do. So try to keep busy.
Okay, so I'm just in curiosity, what was your most difficult experience in the hobby?
So far, like, that I can think of, is I've been trying to get these Kerri Tetras in this lower 55 gallon right here. I've been trying to breed them for a while now, and I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. They seem healthy. They're colorful. They interact with each other. The tank seems good, but I don't know if I've played around a little bit with the temperature, but I don't know why. I don't know if they're eating the eggs. I don't know if I'm just not getting the eggs. I have no idea, but where they came from, they were breeding with no problem. So
I hate it when that happens.
That's like the one thing that I'm actively trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, because I would like to breed those Kerri Tetra, because they are so cool. But I don't know. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know what I'm doing wrong, if anybody knows. But that's the one thing that I would like to kind of conquer, at least have like a couple that I spawn in that tank. I haven't
done
do that.
Any Tetras yet. I would like to, but
some days that tank looks really good, and then other days I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. kitty cat.
I like Larry's comment.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely would help. I'm to that point where it's worth a shot.
Oh, gee,
I have a wine cooler down here that I keep cricket food in that I might need to here. You want some wine too, little Tetra?
Okay, I'm a little bit curious. So you said you do frozen brine shrimp. Do you ever make your own or hatch your own out?
I do. I need to do it more frequently. I do it from time to time. But there was a point where I was just trying to figure it out. I was really wanting to go through the process, figure it out. And there's some batches in the beginning that I didn't get very many. And then now I get almost too many to hatch. That I was like, I ran out of fish to feed them to. So I got the little frozen trays. I was going to try to freeze them, but I'm going to play around some more with that.
My issue is I need to get a better system for doing it because I have the water bottles and I have the CO2 caps and one of them I put air in and then the other is to get the brine shrimp out. But the issue with that is all the brine shrimp eggs always get stuck in that one.
They get stuck in the bottle,
So I was trying to make Dean's fish room, his old brine shrimp hatchery. I'm trying to make that one, but
this one. Hang on, I'll show you. Hang on.
This hasn't been working too well, but
let me grab this.
Yeah, I am kind of curious.
It's kind of. Let me see. This one might work better. Hang on, just a second. Sorry. Let me grab this.
Okay, and then Danny has a suggestion for you on your.
This one, this.
Oh yeah.
This one. I watched that video like 60,000 times and got everything to his exact specifications, and that's what I use. That's what.
What tubing are you using there?
This is just a regular like aquarium airline tubing.
You're joking, right?
Mm-mm.
Mine leaks.
It did.
When I do it, mine leaks when I do it.
I got these little things. Did you get these little thingies? They're so small. I don't know if you can even see it.
The little blue clips.
Yeah, these.
No,
things.
I did. Oh, are those the CO2? No,
I don't know what they are. They came in a bag. They're like
just airline clips.
Yeah, that goes like see where that connects. There's this. I don't know how to do it. It slips.
Yeah, I have those. I think. I've never tried that. I'll try that.
I put one at the bottom too.
They were saying I need to get like CO2 tubing and other things when I called and was asking about it because they were leaking, and I'm like, I don't know why they're leaking. They were leaking, and I was like, I don't know why. But Danny has a suggestion for you.
Yeah, I saw it. Look, I'm going to screenshot this on my phone so I can go back and test all of that. I'm going to screenshot that so I don't lose that advice.
Another thing you can do, Kevin, when you're attaching your airline hoses, warm them up with a little heat so that they shrink down over the fitting.
Mm-hmm.
No, it goes inside of the fitting.
This is so tight that once I connect it, I can't even get it off. I can't even, you can.
Really? Well, yeah. And that was what was going on for me. It just was.
But I got 2 of these. I have 2 of them. And
I have 5.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that many.
I just need to get it ready, but I'll try that.
But see, I'll have to play around. I don't have any problems with it leaking, but I do have problems with the eggs getting stuck right there, and it kind of gets clogged. But I haven't. I don't. It still does. It still gets a little clogged. Mark's Aquatics. You remember that?
Yeah, but I need to try and do it. Yeah, I always do screenshots because otherwise I forget.
I don't remember.
And then trying to go back through videos, I'm always like, and where was it? Now I need to like go scramble through and look. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I always go back through and I'll edit down to the exact thing I need. Otherwise, I'm like, why did I screenshot this?
Well, that's why for me, like when I was watching Dan's fish stream a few days ago, and I'm like, okay, when I ask a question or when I hear something, I need to go back right away and just use voice memos on my iPhone and just record it, because otherwise I'll totally forget what he said there. And I can't, and for some reason on YouTube, you can't really get the, at least on the phone, I don't know about on the computer, but you can't get the timestamp, the correct timestamp for the video. And so I'm like, ugh. Because it always counts it counts backwards when you do it from 0 and backwards. It doesn't go from the beginning. And so I'm always like, okay, so now I can't go back to wherever I need to be. So I always have to like go back right away and record it, because I'm like, otherwise I forget. But that is a good Mark's Aquatics. Is it? I think, yeah, it is Mark's Aquatics. But yeah, no, he has some good videos on there. I've never tried breeding tetras. I'd like to. I just don't have enough tank space for all of those.
Yeah, I've kept a few different tetras, but I've never bred them, and I would really like to, because I was like, I've never had anything spelled like how I spell my name, and there's a whole tetra, and my favorite color is purple, and they're purple, and they're just the coolest things ever, and I would love to get them at least to breed once, just at least once. I would love.
What kind are they again?
The Emperor Purple Tetra or the Kerri Tetra. I always just call them Kerri Tetra, but I think that's what they're commonly known as, to the Emperor Purple Tetra.
I'll have to look for those. I haven't seen those yet.
They're cool. They're so pretty.
Okay, now I have to look it up.
They're cool.
Because I haven't heard of it before. When I look up, okay, who is this from? Or who put, let's see if I can, I like it. The first video that comes up when I look up Kerri Tetra, Sassy and, what was it? Sassy and Striking, Kerri Tetra. Oh, it's actually Rachel O'Leary has a video on it.
That's who I got them from. So I know that they are perfectly capable of breeding, because she told me that they were breeding in her tank, and I got the last 8 that she had.
Oh, those do kind of look cool. Those do look cool.
They're so cool.
Well, show us, Kevin.
What?
Show us.
Can you share your screen?
You're gonna make me do work.
Yes, I am. I always do.
I can't get a close-up shot. I just take you over.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's always hard, or whenever you want to record or do something like that, they always hide or. When you don't want them to, they do. When you want them to, they don't. Those look cool, though. Where are they? Right here.
Yeah, Larry tries to get the fish to do what he wants in the videos, and it's like,
it's so difficult.
They're not going to listen to you. You can't tell them left, right, forward, center.
It would be easier if they took stage direction, though. It would be. It would make all of our lives easier.
My dogs too. I wanted to get like a photo with my 2 dogs, and it was like trying to get them to. It was like, oh geez. They never want to when you want them to.
Nope.
So I'm curious, what was I think you kind of talked about it, but what was your most difficult part of the hobby, and what was your what excites you about the hobby? What do you enjoy doing in the hobby?
Just you never know what you're gonna get. You never know. Usually it's always good when you come down in the fish room and there's always some new batch of fry or some, like now with the plants, or like, oh look, that's growing something, or it's just exciting. You never know what's gonna happen. And when you do have a new batch of fry, you're just like, oh my God, it's just cool every time you see it. And I know if I get these Kerri Tetras to breed someday, it's just going to be like the best part of my day. It's like, oh, you never know what's going to happen. When I got the rice fish to breed for the first time, I went outside. I was on the stream earlier. I was like, I never expected it to happen. You just walked out there and there was just eggs all over. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
That's
and then when
awesome.
you get them to it's just, it's just fun. It's just
all
and learning. And when I got introduced to live plants, it was just like, I knew you could probably in my head somewhere that you could put plants in a fish tank, but I had never tried it. And it was just like a whole new thing. There's always something to learn. And it seems like a lot of us in this hobby, especially on YouTube, we like learning. It's a never ending process. It's kind of boring if you don't have something to learn or research or look into. In fish tanks, there's always something. There's always something to be like, I never thought of that.
There's always a rabbit hole.
There's always something. Yeah.
Always a rabbit hole you can go more deeper and deeper into.
Even when you learn it, you could go deeper into a topic and stumble into something that you never even thought of. And it's just, everything about it's cool. And even in the mistakes, like when you have something horrible, like something happen, even in those mistakes, you're going to learn something. And you're going to walk away from a bad situation a little bit smarter so you don't do it next time. And it's just...
Hi, Angus.
I'm a firm believer that the mistakes are what we really learn from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, yeah. Yep. And some of the biggest mistakes are like the biggest, like, aha moments too. They're not always bad. Sometimes an accident turns out to be like one of the best things too that happen. It's like there's always something. I know that's not the best eloquent answer, but there's so many cool things to learn about.
Yeah. And it is interesting. Like there's so many different like rabbit holes you can go down. It's like, wow, okay, what can I learn now? What new thing can I do?
Yeah.
Let's see, what can I look at now?
Yeah. And from every from filters to plants to substrates to fish to shrimp to lights, you can get lost in any numerous aspects.
It's amazing, yeah. Okay, I'm curious. What kind of shrimp do you keep? I know you have some shrimp.
I have the Neocardinas. I have a few blues, not a handful of cherries, but the yellows for me are the ones that do the best. And they're in this tank that gives me so much problems with all the algae. They love it.
That's where I would assume so.
Yeah, they love it. I have to trim it back every so often. And I've been doing much better. I turned on the light for the streams today, but I've been keeping that light, turning it off better. And that does contribute to the problem. But every time you look in that tank, there's tons of new shrimp.
Right?
Huh?
You don't use timers on them?
No, that would be
You don't use timers?
No, that would be like one of those things that would make my life easier. Yeah, it was like
too logical. Just way too logical for you.
Way too my problem. Yeah, it's just I can't. One, I never remember when I go to the store. I'll go to the store 4 timers and come out with like paint or something. Be like, I didn't even get what I went for.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, oof.
I go past the garden section and never go into the store. And I'm like, well, that was that.
Yep. No, that's why I go on Amazon, because I'm like, otherwise it makes it.
I have timers. I just haven't set them up yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told, I think it was Jesse or my mom, one of the two. I was like, I really need to ask for that for my birthday. We were just talking about it because I was like, I really do. That would help. I have gotten tremendously better with turning on and like turning the lights off. I've done so much better recently, but I still need to try harder. But some of my lower light tanks, they just generally, like this one, I'll show you this one if I get out of the way. This one at the bottom, that tank is crystal clear. And it's got that one teeny tiny little light on it. And it has no filter. Perfect. And this one up here, you can't see it because the light's really dim, but it's barely got any light on it. It's got guppies and some cherry shrimp in there. And it's beautiful. But it's the lower lights, I just have better luck with them. But I went through a phase where I thought I needed I got fluval lights and shop lights, and I almost think some of them, it's just overkill. It's almost too much light.
Yeah, I'm figuring that out myself. I think I'm going to raise them up off the top of the tank. Mm-hmm. See if that helps at all.
Mm-hmm. I think that's contributing to a little bit of my algae problem.
Hi, bottom dwellers.
Yeah, hello, Angus. I lost all my blue Neos but one, and it had babies before dying, and I'm happy to say I have now 5 blues again and 1 blue. Oh, cool, Angus. That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my blues. I do have some, but not doing quite as well. Mm-hmm. I was talking to you about that the other day.
I have 2 left, and I ended up, because I was just watching them one by one, and I got my last 2, and I actually put them in this tank with those cherry shrimp just to put them in there, because those cherry shrimp were doing so well. I was like, well, maybe they will too. And so far, I still have them, but I had them in a crushed coral guppy tank, and they just did not do well in that tank at all. And they just one by one kind of melted away. But the cherry ones and the yellow ones especially they're doing better in my water. But I haven't gotten a chance to get any more blue ones either. But I think these were blue dreams.
The blue dreams seem to be the hardest to keep.
They were for me, for sure.
Yep. I don't know what it is about those. The other ones seem to do okay, but you have a poop ton of wild Neos. I have been moving them into my guppy tank to see what they breed into. Oh, wait. So are they outside right now? Are the Neos outside then, Angus? I'm assuming that's where they are, since he's saying he's moving them into his guppy tanks. Unless he's just moving them from one tank to another. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was talking to you about that yesterday. A few days ago, I was like, I don't know what's going on. For some reason, my other ones, and that's my favorite color, but for some reason, the other ones are doing great, and my blue dreams are like they're not doing as well, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
although I saw one pregnant.
Those blue dreams on that white crust coral, they looked fantastic. They stood out. They looked great, but they didn't like it. They just didn't like it. And I've had that tank set up. It's a 10-gallon guppy tank. It's been set up for a long time, so I don't know. But it seems like sometimes certain tanks they just take off, and other tanks are not so much. Even like being right next to each other.
Yeah, I noticed with my blue dreams, I had them with aragonite sand, and I ended up moving them to a tank that has just regular black gravel in it, and they seem to be doing much better in that tank.
Yeah, this one, it's kind of a mix of sand, gravel, and Fluval stratum in those two tanks right here. It's just over the years, it's kind of just gotten all mixed together.
Wait, what did you use Fluval stratum for?
It's just mixed in to the substrate. When I put the plants in there, I thought I had to have Fluval stratum in there too, so I just mixed it all in there. And now through like aquarium vacuuming and water changing, probably sometimes when Jesse first started helping me, the water was on full blast, and it just kind of got all mixed up over the years. And there's not any one; it's just kind of a little bit of everything. So straight lines.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Bottom Dweller says, "Yep, his blues are blue dreams. The reds do good, and no, Kevin, they're in his Pleco guppy tank. He'll come up in a minute and show you if you want."
Yes, I did see that.
Hi, Facey Vane.
Yes.
I might have to go in a few minutes. My son's still playing.
No worries.
And I've got to put him to bed. I told him he could have an hour, and it's been 2, and I was like, oh man, he's going to be up. He's going to be up to like.
Hello, Faith.
Forever.
No worries, and thank you.
Well, I am sorry that I completely spaced out yesterday, but thank you for having me on today.
Thank you, Kerri.
I feel bad for cutting you off, but I was like, man, I really got to go get him. He's going to be up all night. He's going to be
How old is he?
He's going to be 9. I call him 9. He's 9 officially next week, but he's he'll play all night if I don't make him stop, and then he'll sleep all day. And it's like day 2 of summer break, and I was like, man, this schedule's already kind of thrown off. That didn't last that long.
Well, we're sorry that we messed up your schedule for you tonight.
No, you're fine. I told him, I was like, we could stay up a little bit later because it is summer break, but we usually go upstairs and watch a movie, and then I pass out, and then who knows? I usually try to keep tabs on, but sometimes he'll sneak up on me, and I'm like, man, Bryden, I'm going to have to put a passcode, like turn off the Wi-Fi after I go to sleep. There's got to be some kind of product out there that I can like turn off the Wi-Fi. So even if they sneak up and get up in the middle of the night, they can't get on Fortnite.
Yeah, usually there should be
I'm sure there is. I need to search Amazon. I'm sure it's not even that hard to find. I just have to figure out the name, but I'm sure
you might not even have to search. You might not even have to search Amazon to find that.
Yeah, there's got to be a parent hack. I just haven't figured it out yet. I'm sure it's super simple.
Well, yeah, you can go through the device itself and turn off the Wi-Fi for a specific period of time.
Yeah, I tried. I'm sure that there's another way. I put a timer on it originally, but he outsmarted me and just keeps making new profiles so he can get past the time, because I was like, after like 6 hours it was supposed to shut off, but he just made a new profile and then was like, look, Mom, there's no time limit. I was like, dang it.
Oh, what a beautiful tank.
They're a little bit smart there. They're just a tad too smart when they come to that. But there should be a way, like,
can y'all hear me?
You can change. either change the password or something. Hello, Heart Gasper. Yes, we can, Angus.
Oh, wait. So this is the shrimp tank. There's a couple there. One there.
Thank you, Kerri.
I don't know if you
can thank you, Kerri. I know you said you had to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and since this is an awesome tank to look at, so I'm gonna enjoy it. But thank you guys again, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Kerri.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, Angus. That's an awesome tank.
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna focus, but right there's one of the wild type. They're all brown. They look like Amano shrimp, kind of, but I've just been scooping them out of there, tossing them into this.
Okay.
I figure if they survive in here, they survive.
Faith, you said that you had the male betta and the female in the same tank?
Oh, yeah, that might be it. Usually you want to... Well, yeah, that would make sense. That's
a big, what are those, flower horns?
Yeah. He's only a few months old. He's only like 6 months old or so.
Are you serious?
He's got a big newborn.
Yeah. I got him right around Christmas time, like right after, I think. Either right after or right before. So he might be like 8 months, I don't know how old he was when I got him.
Oh, look at how interactive he is.
He's been in a timeout tank. He's so much. I just put him back in here yesterday, I think, and he's just so much happier.
Faith, if you had the two in the same tank, it could be that the male killed the female. There's a very good reason that we don't keep male and females together. And we're very careful about how we introduce them together for breeding. They cannot be kept together long term because the male will kill the female by squeezing it to death.
So, Angus, how many tanks do you have again?
I just broke one down to move the flower horn. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here that have fish in, and I have 2 more that are just plant tanks, and then I have my daughter's tank in the house, which, I mean, it's a 12-year-old's tank, so it's my tank.
Wait, did you say you have two tanks with plants in them?
Yeah, no fish, just plants.
And what size is the tank here with the catfish?
That's 75. I think I froze. I'm not positive.
Yeah, the screen has frozen. That catfish is gonna get huge.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've got one of those at my local fish store, and they have a tank that goes from the floor to the ceiling, and it's 6 foot long and 3 foot deep or wide, and this thing is 3.5, 4.5 feet big.
I have the plan
and the intention. I go to see it every time I go.
I have the intention of building a 4 foot by 8 foot by 2.5 foot plywood tank with a plexiglass viewing screen or a acrylic viewing screen or glass, whatever I can find cheaper when I do it. But right now with lumber prices, that's on hold for probably like a year. But if it comes to where I can't ever house it, if something were to happen, my friend owns the local fish store where I'm at, and he's a catfish fanatic with a 1,000-gallon tank at his house.
Oh, there you go. So you already know where it can go when it gets too big.
Yep.
That's
I already know where it
can
go.
Did you just feed 1,000?
Yeah, my friend's got a 1,000-gallon at his house.
Jesus, that would be
plus
amazing.
Like an 800 and
I love that catfish.
It's built in between the wall of his living room and bedroom.
And it comes up to get its belly rubbed, against the glass.
Let's see if it unfroze me. No, I'm still froze. I was going to say, if I tap the water, she'll swim up to the top thinking it's food. And she does pretty good with not biting me. She bit me on the thumb the other day. It instantly let go of my thumb because she knew it wasn't food. Came back and smelt my fingers and left them alone. The flower horn, though, he bites just because it's fun.
Yeah. I'm finding that my killifish like to bite me, and so do my cribs.
I went to Petco the other night and they had killifish, but I made the kids scoop 20 feeder fish out of the tank and then 3 other fish. And I wasn't going to make him get me killifish because he had a whole line of people. But I kind of kicked myself in the butt. I kind of want some killies.
Try to stay warm for the ride home, Larry.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised when I posted the StreamYard link. Up. What are we going for? An hour?
Oh, it'll take him about a half an hour to get home.
Jen?
What?
Yeah, so so we want to go for half an hour and end it? Right when he comes, we can end it just to tease.
Oh. That's entirely up to you, Kevin. It's your stream.
I don't mind. I think we can go for another hour if you want.
Another whole hour?
I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, I forget it's still early over there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's only 10. And usually we go from 10 to 11.
Well, it's 1 here.
Yep, 1 here.
Yeah, usually we go to 1 to 2 to.
Yeah, we've been
1 to
going
2
to 2.
at least. Sometimes 1 to 3. So it's up to you, but yeah. I was actually gonna shut it down soon, but hey Angus, do you mind going out and then coming back in and showing us your tank again? If that's possible.
Yeah,
I love your tanks. Sorry.
I was gonna say I want to back out and see if I can get that to reload me.
Not trying to kick you out, but no, it's only 10 here. I don't know what you're talking about, Joseph. It's only 10. Oh my gosh, I hate time change. Time zones. It's so annoying trying to keep track of all of the time zones.
And Faith, I'm sorry to hear about your betta. But yeah, if you want to try bettas again, don't keep a male and female in the same tank.
Or put a divider in.
If you want to breed them, you could go on YouTube. There's lots of videos about how to do it the right way. And Kevin's correct. You can use a tank divider to keep them separate. However, I always caution people with those tank dividers, make sure the betta can't jump over the top into the other side.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point there. All right, let's make you solo.
All right, so I'm not going to put my screen the other way because I'm afraid that'll freeze me again. But I also just was running 2 tabs with YouTube open, so that might be what got me.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. Oh my gosh, I love those fish. How many do you have again?
Fish, man, I don't know right now.
Sorry, tanks.
Tanks, I have 6 tanks with fish in them, and then 2 more that are just holding plants. And then I have the pond also.
So you have 8, okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a plant-only tank going.
Yeah, I could not do that.
I'll show you guys these really quick, because, I mean, it's just a bowl and then a little tank, and it's just pretty much a catch-all for plants. There's actually nothing even in the bowl anymore. I forgot.
Wait, do you have a light on it?
Right now, no. They get natural sunlight during the day. That's why they sit all weird placed where they're at.
Got it.
Let's see. Wish me luck here. I'm going to try to switch out of portrait mode. So the phone over registers my fingers. There we go.
Well, it looks like
There we
you're
go.
shaking your camera, so that's good. Wait,
I
Joseph's
love it
I
too.
love this tank,
All the
but it's
plants
just a
and
pain,
the
though.
way the rock and the wood all goes together. It really looks very natural.
Yeah, it does look like an awesome tank.
I want to pull the water wisteria out of there, but I don't really want to mess with any of it. That and it's a 10-gallon tank. I should probably take the sword plant out, but I just don't want to make a mess of everything. I guess this will help. This is just a fun tank. Nothing in it really. A bunch of moss. That Christmas moss did great for a little bit, and then it just started dying on me. So I moved it back over here.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of good luck with mosses myself.
It seems like I get like weeks that are really good with its growth, and then a week or two with nothing. Oh, there was the little missing endler. I've been looking for him. I was worried.
I think part of my problem is that I have fish that like to tear it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it ends up becoming leaf litter.
Yep. See, I have auto cinclet in here somewhere, but I haven't seen him since I put him in. And I was going to get another one for in here. How many what?
Auto cinklets do you have?
I only got one because it was all Petco had.
Beautiful fish.
Oh.
And it was like 8 o'clock at night. Otherwise, I would have stopped at my buddy's store and picked up 3 or 4. There's that really looking guy back there. Long fin lemon blue eyes. There's 2 of them. There's a third one in here, but I haven't seen him all day today, and I'm kind of nervous. It makes me want to tear the tank apart. Oh, no.
Oh, don't you hate it when that happens?
I had 4. I lost a lot in this tank, the Colmenares. I lost like probably 50 to 100 guppies. Fry, he's the only survivor. And I lost 1 lemon pleco, and I said, all right, this is over with. I'm not losing my plecos. I had a beta in here, and I think the beta was the main culprit. Now, the beta's over here. Oh, this is the next project. It's coming slowly. Beta's back there sleeping. He is sleeping till he's not dead, guys. There's one of those wild type shrimps.
Oh, wow, that actually looks pretty cool.
So weird. It looks, doesn't it? With that yellow line down its back, and it kind of looks like an amano, but it kind of looks like a bamboo.
It doesn't. Happy to have you lurking.
There's another one there.
It kind of looks. I was gonna say chocolate. I guess you're right.
Yeah, a chocolate also. That's why I kind of been trying to save them. Was if I can breed some chocolates, people seem to like the chocolates for some reason.
I like chocolates.
I like them in the tank.
They kind of look. No offense, but they kind of do look like poop.
Yeah,
when they look, they do look cool. I like the brown coloration.
There's 2 of them there. One walking on the substrate or on the gravel, and then one on the plant. I'm surprised the beta didn't pick them all off in here. Maybe he's going to leave the shrimp alone. I hate it. I had a goldfish in here, and he was active. Since I took the goldfish out, all he does is nap now.
Oh.
Well, you need to get him another bigger fish.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I want to put I have a little itty-bitty blue phantom fry, and I'd love to put it in there, but I'm also worried of whether or not he's going to try to eat it one night.
Right. Yeah, I always worry about that when I'm deciding what to mix with each other.
Yeah, that's the nature
There's
of
my
the
big
beast.
rescue pleco.
Oh, very nice sized pleco.
He's got me a little worried. Oh, there's the native catfish. Well, I don't know if I got him, but he might
Yeah,
be
those
back
are
out.
actually
I don't
the
blame him for
exact
hiding.
2 fish that my local fish store has in that big tank. Is one of them and one of the common plecos.
Yep. I love common plecos. When I got my fish tanks, my mom kept joking, well, maybe you'll get me a big common pleco for my one that died. And I was like, do you realize how big they get? She goes, well, yeah, mine was like a foot long. I was, well, I had a 10-gallon tank at the
That
time.
was
Well, I
still
had
a
the
baby.
55, I guess. But then I found this guy at Petco with a golden albino channel cat one day they're both $5 donation fish. So
Oh
I bought a
my.
10-gallon tank to bring them home in, and I ended up losing the channel cat. Sadly, I really wanted that, but I brought this guy home, and he's pretty cool. He eats like 5 Hikari pellets a night, though.
He's got some really cool markings on his belly.
I had a little one, and he ended up becoming a tank jumper, and I didn't know. I wasn't home, but all that bright white, this little one had tons of that on him, and the edge of his fins were all like red banded and stuff. It was really cool.
Oh my.
I was upset when he jumped because I seen him and I wasn't in the market for a common pleco. I like them, but I have one. I didn't need another, and I got him just because I liked him, and he jumped on me. Go ahead, eat one of those algae wafers, catfish. Remember what happened the other night? You puked it out. She's such a cool fish. See if I can get her to come
Yeah,
up to the
he's a
surface.
carnivore,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yep. It does not like the algae wafers at all.
Yeah, I have a hitchhiker catfish. I have no idea what kind it is. It came in on a piece of driftwood, and it was like less than an inch long. And it's only about 1.5 inches now, over 6 months later. But I have no idea what kind of catfish it is.
What color is he?
He's a lighter brown with almost golden markings.
Probably a type of Synodontis.
That's what I'm wondering. Somebody had suggested he might be a wood cat.
I just found something today. I don't even know how it came across it, but it showed me this really shiny gold Synodontis cat. So I had to look at it, and it was Synodontis nigrita, and it was golden. And I don't really have anywhere to put a Synodontis cat right now, but I'm kind of thinking maybe this 40 gal, when it gets set up for some guppies and Synodontis cats. They're $40 a piece, but they look pretty nice.
What size tank is that?
This one's a 75. That one's a 40. And then the flower horns tank's a 55.
Nice.
Next on the list is a 120. I was really hoping to go to this fish thing this week, which I'm not going to be able to go to, and pick up a 120 somewhere, but it's not going to happen.
What was it?
Oh, there's a fish convention in New York this week. Fish convention?
Oh.
It's like American Aquarium Society. I don't remember exactly whose it was or what it is, but I was hoping to pick up a 120, and I'm not even going to be able to afford to go.
Where are you located, $1,000? I'm in New York too.
I'm upstate New York, up by Fort Drum. I'm in the Thousand Islands.
We're in Western New York here.
Okay. Yeah, I was disappointed I can't make an hour-long trip because I decided to walk away from a job, and last week I did absolutely nothing but work at home instead of going and finishing a couple jobs like I was supposed to.
What is that fish?
The white one that keeps zipping by?
Yeah.
That's a comet goldfish.
Oh,
It's the red
wow.
tail's buddy.
He's
so going
active.
into my pond. I don't get it either. Like, it's got me thinking there's something wrong with him because he's been really, really hyper the last couple days. But he's a special goldfish. He doesn't eat goldfish food. He only wants to eat Hikari carnivore pellets. I've kept him in the predator tank for too long.
Oh.
So I've been wondering if maybe because I've been boosting his protein diet lately, if that's why he's been so active. Because normally he holds still, doesn't do much of anything.
Oh, it could also be that he senses that it's the change in the weather in the spring.
That could be too. Jesus, he just got 4 of those pellets. I also just put I think I put 15 feeder fish in here the other night, and now we're down to like 2 left. So he might have just got like really, really bad shock when he's seen all his friends disappear.
Oh.
And I took him out of his school. The rest of his school's in the pond. I just couldn't catch him.
Oh, that could be it. He's missing his buddies.
I'm noticing on his head now, he's got orange that I didn't see, not the spot, but on his nose and down his dorsal. So he might not even go in the pond. He might just wind up getting his own tank.
Normally keep in the pond.
The other goldfish and some native bullhead catfish. And there may or may not be a bass in there. I don't really know because it's New York, so I don't know if there's a bass or not. It's not a bass, officer. That's a sunfish.
Oh, are you not supposed to keep them?
I don't actually know, Kevin. I have no real clue on that. And I'm too lazy to look it up. And
New York has a rule that you're allowed to keep them as long as they're in season. As soon as they're out of season, you have to either release them or kill them. And actually, they want you to kill them. They don't want them released back into the wild.
Bass?
Any game fish.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I've got this plan in the back of my head to do like a 5,000-gallon pool and do perch in it because perch are a good money selling fish and they're not a game fish, so there's no season. But
there you go.
I mean, I catch them and sell them 6 months out of the year. Same with the bullhead. I was like, if I can just keep these and stock these and get rid of the fishing part of it, that could be interesting. But I don't know what the legalities are on it, and that's too far up the road to even worry about it today.
That would be fun, though.
But it might be something to research as a second income.
A second income? I got to have a first one again. Yeah, I've thought about it because, like with my fish, everybody asks, I got to have fish that are making something back, be it store credit for some free food or whatever. I can't have anything that takes away every day. Everything has to serve a purpose.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just a hindrance.
It's a liability and it takes up too much money. I mean, the hobby's expensive enough.
I mean, I love these guys, but if I didn't have them, I'd have like a car payment or something. And I'd rather have the fish than a new car payment.
Okay, so Terry's saying it's not true. So Terry doesn't think that's true.
Doesn't think what's true.
Bass.
Oh. I don't know. I've never looked it up.
If that was true, there would never be a bass tournament in New York.
See, our bass tournaments that we have are during bass season, which bass is closed right now, I think. Pretty sure it is. Maybe it just opened. But I think it's closed. Yeah, it's closed till next month, for like in the middle of the month. I don't know. I'm not a bass fisher.
And with the tournaments, it's either catch and release, or you take it home and you eat it.
Yep.
They don't.
I live right in.
What New York's
Clayton,
law
New York.
is you can't put it in your tank and raise it.
I know we're not allowed to keep any native animals that have been caught in the wild as a pet.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got in trouble for that. I know that one. But I live right in Clayton, New York. If you look up the Thousand Islands, New York, or any bass or any fishing tournament that happens on the St. Lawrence River, it probably happens in my town. And
yeah, or in mine.
It's normally always catch and release, and it's a catch and release and a weight. You have a guy that goes out on the boat with you. Every fish you catch, you weigh, drop it into your live well if you are keeping it, or sending it back out, and it's a total weight deal typically. We have a big carp tournament.
Hi, Larry. You're home from work? But yeah, New York is weird. They really don't like to let you do anything.
Not unless they can tax it and then tax
We're
that
lucky
tax
we have aquarium fish.
Yeah, honestly.
And I'm really surprised that we're allowed to keep a lot of the ones that I'm hearing other places don't allow.
I don't know how we're allowed to have goldfish. I have no clue how they let us have goldfish here. With everything else that we can't have, how are we allowed to have goldfish?
You would think
goldfish
that goldfish
have ruined
would
my
be
river.
one of the ones.
Yeah. I can keep my fish outdoors year-round, I'm pretty sure, my goldfish. And I see what these things grow into when somebody releases them in my river.
Larry,
they become monsters.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. I really can't believe that catfish ate 15 feeder fish almost in one night.
Oh, I can.
That's ridiculous.
Wait, you?
I had my mom. She called me and she was, I'm out at Watertown. Do you need anything? Watertown's the city here locally. I go, hey, if you're like my Petco, I need some feeder fish today. They just got them in. Get them for me before they're gone, because they get in like 200 of them and they're gone in an hour. Well, they didn't have any. I wanted 10 of them. She ordered me 50 of them for the next day. And when I got there, I was like, man, I don't need 50 feeder fish. That's going to screw my tank up so bad if I put them all in. And I didn't have a tank set up or anything to toss feeder fish in. So I took 20 of them, and now I'm thinking I should have took all 50 of them. Plus, she gets like 3 large shrimp every night, sometimes 5. It's like, come on.
Stop eating what?
I feed her 5 large raw shrimp. 3 of them every single night, typically, and 5 of them maybe twice a week.
She eats better than I do sometimes.
Dude, she eats better than a lot of people's girlfriends. That's why my girlfriend broke up with me, is because I'd take the fish out to better dinners than her. No, not really, but...
Yeah, that's a nice-sized fish there. Hello.
Yep.
Hey, kids.
What's up, Larry?
Hey, kids. Daddy's home.
Oh, shit. I didn't do it.
It's not what Kevin says.
As long as you don't take our T-bird away, we're good.
You do what?
I said, as long as he doesn't take our T-bird away, we're good.
Hey, gotta have fun.
It's a song you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, Kevin.
Nope. I didn't hear what Angus said. That's what I was asking.
So Terry, that fish fillet thing?
Before that.
I normally keep tilapia here just because I like tilapia on the barbecue grill. Throw it in some aluminum foil, toss it on the grill for like 3 to 5 minutes, and it steams itself. I just like tilapia, so she gets that too sometimes. And I don't want to do feeder fish. Like I feel bad about the feeder fish thing. I don't really care. I just I can feed her fillets. It's easier and cheaper and
Now,
tastes
I
better.
guess
You ever tried a goldfish before?
How long is that fish?
Right now, I'm gonna put her maybe 12 inches.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's got about
gonna end
6
up
inches
big
on the
like the
front of
one
this
at our
tank.
fish store, Larry.
Right. Yeah, it'll get that big.
She's probably like 10 inches right now because that tank's 18 front to back. Her tail's 2 inches off the back, and her nose is about 6 inches off the front right now.
Okay.
So, here, I'll get you a side view.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
It's cute.
That's the big guy.
Ooh, flower horn.
Yeah, he's my buddy. Sometimes I want to punch him in his head. Like when he jumps out of the fish tank to bite you.
Oh, jeez. He's just saying hi.
Yeah, I'd been gone for like 2 days. I understand. Came home long enough to drop food in the tank, kill the lights, go to bed, and leave again. And I get why he was mad.
Yeah, Terry, that's just a baby right now.
Yep. Just a
Our
wee
local
little
fish
baby.
store has a 4-foot one.
The guy that owns my fish store has got a 3.5 footer that's like 17 years old. It's funny. I almost bought another one the other day. I was at his store and I seen it swimming underneath the rock while I was getting my blue phantom, and I was like, "Man, it looks so cute when it's the size of your thumb." And then 2 months later, it's eating $50 worth of food in a week.
Wow.
It's not that much. It's not that much by far, but it will be. I can see it when I dump a whole bag of shrimp in there, and that's just a snack for her for one day.
I'll tell you though, the meanest catfish I ever had was upside down catfish.
Yep. I never got those. I had two, and they were. I had two Synodontis, which are like false upside down catfish, and they'd always hide, but when they did come out, they'd push everything around.
He didn't kill them, Jen. He ate them.
Murder, I say.
He ate
no,
them.
He would actually hunt everything in the tank, and it didn't matter if he ate it or not. He would kill it.
Wow.
I had a Jack Dempsey when I was a kid that was like that. Everything. I got 5 little firemouth Mickeys one day thinking that they'd be fast enough and fight enough. Nope, they were dead the next day.
Oh, man.
I almost got another Jack Dempsey the other night. They were $3 at Petco. So you should get a trio really quick.
That is the one fish that I'm interested in as far as cichlids. That's a larger fish that I just haven't decided to get because I don't want to have a tank for just one large fish. And that's the electric blue Jack Dempsey.
My flower horn was kind of like that. Like I wanted a big centerpiece fish, but I didn't really want a big all by himself fish. So it was kind of a toss up. Am I going to do a flower horn or am I going to get an Oscar? And well, the flower horn can live in my 40 or in my 55, where the Oscar I needed at least a 75 for. So
there's something about the flower horn. I just don't care for the big bulbous head. It just never did anything for me. Just never liked
I didn't like that to begin with. I really hated that bump on the head.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at some of the guys that are trying to grow it as big as they can, and the head's bigger than the fish. But I'll show you mine really quick with the light on. I like his bump. I think he's got a well-shaped bump on his head. Hold on a minute. Let me plug this phone back in before I die.
Is that a natural thing, or were those bred to do that?
I'm not positive. I feel like they were bred to enhance that.
I heard
I mean, I
something about
imagine
them being
somebody
bred
in that
for 'em.
process. Now, I do know that people will buy big-headed flower horns with the hope that it's genetic,
Yeah.
but I think his head is nuchal hump. There we go. I had to remember the proper word and not the, oh, I froze. Damn it.
Ah,
Anyways, I froze.
but it's a good shot
either
of
way,
it.
yep, that's a good shot. I feel like that's a decent-sized hump for his head. Now, he's only
Yeah.
like 6 to 8 months old.
Wow.
I've only had him since like Christmas. So I'm wondering how big is that head going to get? And I only feed him, he gets some shrimp. Like every night he gets the tails. I squeeze the meat out. And then he gets Hikari blood red parrot food because I had some parrotfish that died on me and made a grown man cry. But we don't talk about that. Because grown men don't cry over little fish.
Oh, I got so upset when our seahorse died last month. I don't think I cried, but oh.
These fish died because of me, so I felt bad that I put them in a bad spot. And it was my fault. But I know now that I don't make the mistake anymore.
Yeah, we had other seahorses in the tank, so we don't know, younger seahorses, so we don't know why. I don't think it was water parameters or something.
Yep. See, I think a lot of mine was, they were an impulse buy. I had been looking at them and looking for them. It was a plan to what I wanted to get. I came to Petco and forgot what I went to Petco to get even. Airline tube or something. And they had 2 of them as donation fish. So I was like, yeah, $5. I'm going to buy them. I'm not going to buy 2 full-grown blood parrots for $5 anywhere else. Came home, had a tank set up for quarantine, and they were already stressed. I stressed them out more, and then I went out and drank and didn't come home one night.
Yep.
So now we don't go out and drink anymore. Well, we still do. We just make sure we go home when we do, and we do it responsibly.
That makes sense.
Well, see, your fish are teaching you responsibility.
I wish I wasn't froze. The catfish just ate a Hikari wafer, puked it out. So funny I was scared the first time she did it because it was like a seizure, but she got that one out pretty easy. Stop eating them if you don't like them, stupid.
Let's say, but I don't know. I don't like it until it's in my mouth already.
It's got to smell the same as it did yesterday.
Yeah, I have the same problem. Ooh, that looks good. Ugh.
I don't get this goldfish, man. He doesn't touch flake or goldfish pellets or anything anymore. It's carnivore wafers or pellets. That's it.
Well,
He's been in the predator tank too long. He's
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was learning from the catfish.
No.
Everybody's going to school, even the goldfish.
I almost got one the other day, but they tried to tell me it was a koi. And its bottom of its, I guess, its chin, if fish have chin, was all ripped open with a flap hanging down because it jumped out of their tank.
Oh.
And I go, well, how much is it? He goes, well, it's $40. I was like, you're out your mind.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you $40 for a comet goldfish that's it was big. It was 10 inches or so.
That's damaged, yeah, that's hurt.
Yeah, and then it's damaged, Now I also get it too. It was damaged, and they weren't trying to sell it. It just went to Syracuse now. The next Petco that they said could treat it a little bit better, but $40, and it's not even a koi. And I know they didn't get a fish in. Petco doesn't ever get a fish that size shipped in from their distributor.
No.
Right.
It's somebody dropped it off, and what I really think it was that the kid wanted to take it home for himself. So he just said the price was crazy, so no one bought it.
No.
But I don't care. I didn't need it anyways. I just figured I had a tank, and it's big enough I don't have to worry about the catfish eating it. So
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about our local fish store. When I buy fish that I know I'm not going to be able to take care of for its whole life, they have no problem with it because they have people who have
the big
fish
tanks
that
and
die that they need a large fish to go into, and they're very appreciative when you bring in those larger fish to them because they're going to sell it out to somebody who just lost a big fish out of their pond or their big tank and they can't go with a baby
Well, that's
because
how I'm
it'll get
waiting.
killed.
That's how I'm waiting to get my koi for my pond. And I might not even do it this year because I'm going to add another section to my pond next year, I think. Is I'm just going to wait till fall when somebody's that lives up here in the summertime is bringing in their koi and they're donating them somewhere because they can't keep them.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea.
That, and personally, I don't want to have to spend $50 on a fish that I like that may or may not make it a month or a year or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather find the fish that has to be housed somewhere else and house it and save $1.
That's one thing I would really like if our fish places could do for us is actually tell us how old a fish is.
Yep.
yeah, if they can know, if they know.
See, like one thing, like with a guppy, how would they really actually know? But with like the flower horn, I mean, I'm sure I could figure out a little bit closer to how old he was when I got him.
But that's the thing, you know, I want to know at what age do they buy them in?
Yeah, well, a lot of them are local, all from the local breeders. It's like 90% of their stuff, I believe.
Oh, no, they go to the big distributors too.
Petco buys from Live Aquaria. Petco bought Live Aquaria in 2004, and then in 2018 or 17 or something, I think 18, they sold it to an umbrella company. So, but Petco gets their stuff from Live Aquaria.
Okay.
Ultimately, is where it comes from. It's just no longer Petco; it's some umbrella corporation. That is why, if you are ever getting shrimp from Petco,
come from the same distributors.
Yeah, a lot of yeah. And I was saying that Live Aquaria is probably getting from the distributor that's distributing to everybody else, you know. But my shrimp that I have my Blue Dreams are from my buddy's shop that are bred right there in the store, and they did not do that good for me. Like I say, I lost all of them except I lost even that one, but she had baby first. But I get my red shrimp from Petco, but I make sure that I get them the day they come in, and I don't let them unbag them. And I've only ever had 1 out of like 10 die from the transfer, you know. Otherwise, they're in Petco for like a day, and people have bought them up. So you just popped them out of a bag, put them in a tank, put them in a bag, acclimated them to another spot. I'd want to die too.
No, we've never bought from the big chain stores. We get aquariums from there, but no, we've never bought fish from there. Or is it local?
No, I have in the past, just not while you and I have been together.
Okay. No, I meant from when we were together.
I will if they have something I like. Like my flower horn's a Petco flower horn. And a couple of my antlers are Petco. Yeah, that flower horn's from Petco.
Really?
Yeah, that fish up there, that's a $40 or $30 premium flower horn from Petco. Totally worth it.
Huh. That's a beautiful fish.
I don't know. I'm always worried about the sumps and stuff and the care that they keep, that the care of the goldfish and stuff. I'm just
try to figure out what day. Kevin, you got to find out what day they get their fish in and just try to be there when they're unbagging them. It's the only way I like to do it if I got to deal with them.
Yeah, cause I'm so worried. I keep hearing things about like all their fish are sick or get sick.
Every time I've let every time I've let Petco water get into one of my tanks because I was in a hurry and well, I know
Yeah.
they say don't mix the water, but I mean it's water, right? I end up with ick, and I kind of think my Colmenares I had the other month might have came from Petco water.
That's entirely
But,
possible.
Yeah. That's
But you
why
also
I
have
don't
to
even.
think they have so many fish coming in, and they do have the best water systems because they are such a high volume seller.
Do they?
It's just the actual tank maintenance that they don't do very well.
I was gonna have them special order me some stuff, but then when I found out that it actually is Live Aquaria as their supplier, I was like, why would I pay you guys now and wait for it and go through all that process when I can just get online and ask them,
Right.
you know? And then somebody tonight, I won't put their
Well,
name out or even talk too much about it, but somebody tonight sent me a picture of a list they got from a breeder that's local, and man, there's fish on there that should be like $200 for like $10.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like dovies for $5, 6-inch dovies for $5. And
Oh,
I
my
was like, dude, if
goodness.
this is serious, this is something I got to find out about because I kind of want a Fantosa, but I don't really know where to find one where I'm at unless I ask my buddy or I order online. I think I want to.
yeah, it just sounds too
I'm
good to
not
be
sure yet.
true.
Yeah,
That's the
I
other
ended
thing
up
too.
getting
Is
my
It sounds too.
killifish from that virtual auction because my local fish store
North,
has a very limited supply on the choice of killifish.
yeah, all we ever see here are golden wonders.
Oh,
I seen
those
some
orange
silver
ones.
Yeah,
things.
that's what they have at our place. And
I thought about
Those
getting some because I kind of like them, but if I'm gonna do a killifish, I'm not gonna do a golden wonder. I'll find something a little fancier.
those orange ones that you got from the auction are gorgeous.
yes,
I love those. Their tail fins are just wow.
it was the Northeast
Council.
Northeast Council of Aquarium Clubs, I believe,
Yes.
is the
That's
full
one thing
title. But
I've got on Aquabid to look for stuff, and I like Latin. Like at random, I'll just sit there and I'll say something to somebody in Latin, and they're, "What'd you say?" And I'll tell them, they're like, "Oh, I understand that. I know why you just said that." You know, like Victorium Terror, Victory by Terror. Some things, because a lot of the times that works. Like when my buddy's dog gets tough and I just yell at him at random and he shuts up and whines, just be like, Victorium Terror. You just stop saying that. Or, like Capri Diem or whatever, just dumb things sayings. But when it comes to knowing fish names, and I get on like Aquabid, that is the worst thing in the world. Otherwise, I do some online bidding, but mistake an E for an I and wind up with the wrong fish.
That's why you gotta see pictures of what you're getting. Or what you're bidding on.
Yeah,
well,
that's
and
well,
the problem with
that's what
it,
I hate. Then I got to click on
how can you
everything.
use stock photos and it not be the actual fish that you're getting?
Yep.
Oof.
There's somebody on Get Gills does fish you see or fish you get, and I've gone through their pictures. They got guppies. So I don't know, probably once a week I get online looking for guppies, trying to figure out what fancy guppies I want to buy, and then I tell myself I don't want fancy guppies. I just want mutts. But I like the fact I can see exactly what I'm buying.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I like some of these websites that they show the tank and they tell you these are the fish you are getting.
Yeah. KG Tropicals with
The Bettas does
the
that, yeah.
bettas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he had some really nice bettas back like at Christmas time.
Yeah, we've gotten 5 of our 6 have
Yep.
come from them.
I thought my daughter wanted betas. She had this idea of getting a bunch of betas, and well, her grandmother took her out and let her get a male beta to start with. Which, go ahead, get a bunch of betas. They won't like it,
Oh, I
but
was
I was
never
gonna get her
impressed
one
with
from
them.
there.
I never really wanted them, and Jen was like, "Oh, I want to get them," and I went, "Oh, okay." And I'm so glad she talked me into it. I'm absolutely loving seeing them.
I
No
have my
offense,
daughter's
I feel like
male,
this
and
with
he's
a lot of
awesome.
things, Larry.
Excuse me, Kev?
I said I feel like that's with a lot of things though. You don't want them, but she twists your arm.
She doesn't have to twist too hard because I trust her judgments with these. That helps.
Jen,
I never thought.
And then he usually falls in love with whatever it is. Like originally he had said he doesn't want axolotls, and now he's saying he wants one.
Well, because like I saw Shanna's and Bob Kaler's done videos on them, and I'm just like, yeah. And my neighbor was talking about getting one for their 11-year-old daughter if she cleans her room finally, because she did so well in school this year. But they haven't gotten it yet. I guess she hasn't cleaned her room. But
I never thought I'd want guppies until I got guppies.
really?
Now they're one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't want guppies or endlers to start with. He didn't want the
endlers still don't do anything for me, but
yeah, they're
I
really
don't want
tiny.
endless.
yeah.
See, I like the
Snails.
endlers,
I never
but
wanted
I'd rather have
snails.
guppies.
Never wanted snails, and somebody threw in like 7 or 8 golden mystery snails.
Yes.
And I'm loving them. And it's like I'm pointing out to Jen, "Oh, look, that one's purposely like dropping from the top."
My golden mystery snail's cool. Like I see him at night. I'll turn like the blue and red lights on sometimes and film him, and he's got those weird little patterns on their foot, and they look like little aliens. It's like, yep, aliens have landed. I have a video like name that or something.
Yeah, so now I want more snails.
I'd like some more nerites. I like seeing my nerites every now and then when they pop out. I got a whole bunch of bladder snails or pond snails in my flower horn tank. I let it sit empty for like a month with some native plants in it and wound up with a crap ton of these little snails. So I was like, well, I'll let them sit for a month and then grow. And then I'll put the tank back up and running, and I'll put the flower horn in it, and he'll have snacks when he sees them.
Yeah,
He
we had a
knows
couple
rocks
of
don't
ram
sit on
horn.
glass.
Oh, Deborah, I'm happy to hear you've got crib babies. I've just gotten a bunch of cribs. I'm hoping they'll have
baby soon. Yeah.
babies soon. They're really colored up beautifully.
Oh yeah.
All right,
They were
I
when I
think I'm
got
gonna
them.
go
They are really gorgeous.
I think I'm gonna go for like till the 3-hour mark, and then I'm gonna shut it down.
Alrighty.
Okay.
But thanks everyone for coming. I do appreciate it, and thanks Larry for coming up. Thank you, Angus.
Thank
I
you for
was
having
not
me.
expecting it, but thank you, Angus.
Yeah,
I love
thanks for
your
letting me
tank.
I like to show them off. I mean, I wish I had something new in the works right now to show off because it seems like I show the same tanks all the time, but we're working on it. Still haven't decided how to do my 40 yet. I kind of want to do it dirted, but don't know if I like that idea yet.
Oh, the only thing that I would say about dirted is a really thin layer of dirt and a crap ton of cap.
Yep. I want to paint I want to plant probably like a third of it and the rest kind of be open. So I got one built up spot and it all opens up onto one end. So that's why I'm kind of thinking dirt, but I don't know. I might just paint the bottom and run it bare bottom. Who knows? I might not do anything with it. I might just let it sit there forever. I like looking at it. It's been a coffee table for a month.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I bought it about a month ago, and I painted the back of it. I put it up on its end, and it's like been sitting right next to my chair, being a catch-all.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff on top of my 4 tanks, but that's only because I can't put them up right now. And I've had them for like 5 months, and they're driving me absolutely batty.
Well, I keep going through almost every day cleaning out the top of the tanks.
Well, Jen, when we first got the rack system and we put up all these 10s and 20s, Jen was like, "Don't put anything up on that tank." I kept putting like the remote controls, and like I'll set my phone on it when I'm sitting next to the fish tank, and she's like, "Don't put anything on the top."
It's a shelf, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's a shelf with water in it, and if my cat decides to play with what's on the quote-unquote shelf, your phone might get ruined.
I have an issue with a cat that I tend to have to pull out of fish tanks.
Okay, well the issue that I have is the Aqueon tanks don't have much of a rim, and my lids that are from Aqueon, I think, also they always fall into my tanks as well.
We have one cat that likes to use the fish tanks as a highway, not to go after the fish or anything, but to go across the room.
Okay, Kevin, you have something in your background that's blinking.
Yes.
What is it?
Air pump.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was distracting her.
I need a linear air pump or something big to run all my tanks off from. And
yep.
I can't watch videos on air pumps because I don't have the attention span. And I don't want to spend $500 billion either. Like I want to spend like 150 max.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Apparently, they're supposed to be really quiet.
Because I have a really big air compressor outside, and I got an old propane tank I can convert to hold air and just fill the tank every day, or once a week, or whatever it takes to drain out 250 gallons worth of air.
Oh, jeez.
But
Jensen's got a couple of pumps and just a splitter system.
Yeah, I have 3 Whisper air pumps running with gang valves on them.
And they're fairly quiet.
I have the Whisper like up for 75 gallons.
Yep.
And then the one up to 100 gallons, and that's what I run. Yeah, that's how I run all my tanks, because my beta tank doesn't have an air stone in it. Shh, don't tell people. But that's how I run them. But I've learned with the gang valves, if I'm running air out of the first 2, the last one I can only run it down 6 inches into the water, and then it won't push air through an air stone or even bubble with a sponge filter.
Yeah, I've had to maneuver the tubing and everything and dial it in just right. I also put the adjustable valves in the line itself.
Yeah, all right. So I have some of the inline adjustable valves. Like I think they came with these things, and they work amazing so far with those ones. They work better than the stainless ones that I bought, I think.
Oh, we just get the little plastic ones from the local fish store. Nothing fancy.
I don't like those little plastic ones.
They've worked fine for Jen.
Great for us.
I thought about running these Whispers into running both of them, or maybe buying another 100-gallon one, and running them into a PVC system around the fish shed, or where my tanks will be. But I haven't seen anyone online actually do that. I know I can make that work. I just don't know how much finagling around I'd have to do, and I get discouraged if I buy the wrong thing because I didn't pay attention, and I kind of kibosh plans.
Yeah, I know Terry's gonna say just do it. It's worth it, and it's really quiet, but I just need to save up a little bit more, and I always have other things that I want to do, and I have the 2 air pumps as it is, so I'm like okay right now.
Well, that's the problem. We get so many projects, and somebody was asking us what our next project was.
I just had to tell people in my yard, like, why don't you finish one of these 5 projects you have going on, and let me finish one of my 3 projects before we start a 10th project.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
we
everybody,
talk about projects.
thank you so
See,
much
we get
for
them half
coming.
started, and then it gets to 100 degrees, and I don't want to work anymore when it's hot.
Oh,
Yep.
Please
I hear
remember
that.
to hit the like button on your way out tonight.
I did.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Why can't
Like,
you?
comment,
Eric?
and subscribe.
I said I did.
Well, good. Then I'm not talking to you.
I would hit it again, but then it would unlike it.
Right.
Yeah, please don't.
I want to hit it 4 times. No, 3 times.
I double tap everything except for the like button.
Cool. Kevin, thank you. Jen, thank you.
Thank you all.
Kevin, thank
Angus,
you.
thank
everyone
you for
for
sharing your tanks with us tonight. Maybe we'll have you back again one of these nights as
Official guest.
the special guest.
Oh man, that's an obligation. It means you got to show up if it comes to that.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good to me. Just let me guys know, or let me know.
How should I get a hold of you? What's the easiest way?
Kevin, you're on my Facebook.
Okay.
I'll message you in a minute because I use a fake name on Facebook as a joke. That just kind of stuck. But
Thank you.
But yeah. Yep. All right. Later, guys.
Thanks,
Have a good night.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night. Thanks, everyone. Bye.